Hello, everybody. Welcome in. It is Wednesday, August 5th, 2026. How is everybody doing? Midweek here. I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome in to the Sir Morbid X channel here. We may have some fun tonight. You know, we're going to talk about another subject, I guess. We'll see here. It's going to have a good time written all over it. Even, I think Jess Coast is going to stop by. This is the first time she'll stop by as far as like a leader host, because I'm the co-host. You know, I'm the bitch. I'm the bitch all over. So that should be fun. No promises, but we'll see. Hey, I'm a nobody, you're a nobody. We decided not to matter together a long time ago, but we're goats, man. Greatest of all time. Greatest of all time. I gotta stop with the troll voice. Maybe our trolling days are over. No, it's not. Get out of here. All right, meet me on this side over here. I'm not gonna be too professional, you know. It should be a professional show, but we'll see what's going on. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff other people aren't talking about in the same ways because they're afraid. They're little snowflakes, babies. I'm doing the troll voice again. All right, meet me over there. Hard work does pay off. Dreams do come true. Bad times never last, but bad guys and bad girls do right here. What is going on? What is going on, everybody? Hell yeah. Aaron Sweetheart coming in here. Troll forever. Yeah. We are trolls forever. Internet trolls. We're proud of it, baby. We're the greatest trolls. Wow, it's flying by. It's flying by here. Christina coming in here. Belinda's me. Grifting for Jesus. Sammy J. Fracy 101. Low Frodo over on those Reddit turfs. Toddy One Skip, good friend of ours over here. Daisy Dead, Anani's Mushu, Pats and PJs, Benny from TikTok. How's the microphone sound? It's not staticky or anything, is it? Let's see here. Watchdog coming in here. Watchdog, what's going? Belinda's awesome legend over there. Belinda is a TikTok panel legend. She's a legend. It's Marie, bitch. Crystal, super OG channel legend. Hacky Hackerson, Shy Girl coming in here. Do we got dots? Where is our dots? Hopefully Dots is doing well. Been pretty busy trying to catch up on things. Hopefully Dots is doing well. Rach Hill's in here. Sonia, of course. Aida Haas. This should be interesting and fun. I'm Just Peachy coming in here. Good one. And Jessica Rose, Little Massacre. Little Mascara. I like Little Massacre better, guys. Kristen Gagnon. Gagging on the non. All right, let me do some fan funding here, guys. You guys doing pretty good? Having a good week here so far? Happy in Florida 69. I think it's Florida, FLA. Happy in Florida. Thank you so much for becoming a member of the channel. The Griff train continues. The Real Bethany 87, member for 23 months. I mean, that's legendary status, right, guys? That's an OG status. Mental health needs more coverage. And MFN. I must be missing. So what does MFN mean there, Real Bethany? Motherfucker? What is Motherfucking, right? No, I don't know. What is MFN? I'm bad with acronyms. Really bad. Love the pictures of Mimi Morbid. Oh, hell yeah. Peace of motherfucking love. Is that what it means? MFN. I'm still waiting for Bethany to reply here in the chat. MFN means my fun night. I don't even know if that makes sense. What's up, Princess Rainbow's coming in here, a new channel member as well, and taking up real estate over in the comment section. We love that. We love it because our comment section right now is kind of quiet. We like it like that. You know, they're afraid of us because we're elite. You know, we truly are just amazing people, aren't we, guys? I mean, this is there's a lot to talk about, though. You know, these phone calls coming out. We're going to talk about that in a moment here. How they make it so easy for us to really see their hypocrisy when it comes to that anti-gypsy community. They are infected with a disease, guys. It's crazy. And again, we'll get into it. And how does the Gyp verse tie into the Perez Hilton situation? Oh, we'll find out. We'll find out tonight. Real Bethany says, peace and motherfucking love. Okay, I got it. I got you. Perfect. Of course, we like Audrey, the whale fraud over there. Did Fraudry do this to Perez? You know what? Contributed to. The Gypverse most definitely contributed to the mess that you saw. And I'm sure a lot have. Thousands and thousands of people were shocked, traumatized last night. Again, we'll talk about it soon, guys. We'll talk about it soon. That's what this live stream's about. Again, Jess Coast might be coming in here and we'll be, chopping it up and talking about, what's going on with this Perez Hilton thing. And with myself, I want to tie it into the Gypverse because we've covered it back in December. That would be me, guys. I covered it back in December of how it would actually turn out. And guys, we're right again. How many times do we have to be right? And we make these anti-gypsy people look like the hypocrites and fools that they are. They're more worried about prison phone call snark, because that is what feeds those zombies, It's really pathetic. After using and abusing, they're right in it to get fed their little snark prison phone calls because that's all they care about. There's no justice. There's never been justice. What do those prison phone calls do for them? Nothing but snark and little bitches like case studies acting like the cuck that he is, into this weird stuff, wanting to listen to people's phone calls like Ryan and shit like that. What? They're dorks, guys. They're dorks, but they're above all, they're hypocrites. They're hypocrites, and it's showing. Again, there is no justice. There is no truth that comes out of that kind of stuff. It just feeds their creepy obsession, and that's what we've been talking about this entire time. And we're going to continue to talk about it, but we're going to cover other stuff and have a good time. Fun stuff. DGA. Podcast coming in here. I appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it. I'm going to take a sip of my tea over here. I do see everybody. You guys like the new background? This is our podcast studio, we're renovating, guys. Give us some time. This is the 70s look. Yeah. All right, let's talk about it. Yeah, case studies is such a lazy piece of shit. He won't even do anything for his audience, like edit the audio properly. So it's more enjoyable for the viewing audience of those creepy low IQ sheeple. At least do that, right? At least do that. As we're waiting here, we'll get to the main topic in Perez Hilton, because back in December 2025, I talked about the Perez Hilton problem. In fact, when I returned somewhat from taking a hiatus off of covering Gypsy Rose Blanchard, I was off from July 2025 all the way up until Christmas, guys. And I did a live stream and calling out the gyp dip shits over there, the gyp dips in the anti-gypsy community, because they wanted to bring into the fold one Perez Hilton, guys. And who came up on my panel to really muck it up and talk about it? Audrey the Gross guy. But I'm telling you, every single step of the way, we've been right. And we've been right about Becca Scoops. We've been right about Audrey the Gross. We've been right about case studies, these scammers, these frauds, guys. We've been right all along, and people are starting to see it just slowly. The high IQ, elite folks are starting to see it now, guys. It's happening. It's happening. Let's see here. And here's Chris Maradella in the chat saying, right, you got jealous about it. Jealous about what? Are you guys proud that you brought in this guy who went on TikTok live when children are watching? Thousands and thousands of people got traumatized in one evening due to someone being selfish, entitled, and a prick on the internet. Again, we'll get into some of those details soon. Because you're not hearing this sort of take or angle because our people are afraid of it. You know how many children just innocently were swiping, scrolling on TikTok and seeing that horror that would traumatize anybody watching that? Are you kidding? And of course, a long time ago, they try to bring him into the fold in the gypverse, and they're the problem. The gypverse is the problem, and I'm going to tell you, it's because I said it back in December. I said, you guys are using this guy, okay? You're using this guy who was only getting less than 40 live streamers at the time for years, guys, for years. And everything was okay. He was very low key until he met the gypverse, until they propped him up and they built up his channel, making it hundreds and hundreds of live viewers to thousands sometimes. And that is the problem. The Perez Hilton problem really was reliant on the gypverse, those anti-gypsy people from the creators that went up on that panel that very day to be interviewed and things like that, guys. They propped him up. They put him in a position to have that power to reach many people. And look at what happened. Just as predicted, that was going to be a shit show all along. And they knew that it was all about clout. It was all about attention and things like that. But they used him. They used him and didn't care because their hate bond blinded them from the truth. And now who didn't get protected? Children. Who didn't get protected? All the people that had to witness that horror last night. Okay. Nobody deserved that, and people will scream mental illness and stuff like that. But I'll tell you what, okay. Don't blame it on that. Do not give a pass again. They gave a pass to him before, and it's happening again. This is unacceptable. That should never be broadcast, okay, on any sort of live stream platform and be shared everywhere for everyone to witness. It is absolutely absurd. I feel so bad for his mom, and I feel bad for his children at this time. Those are the only folks that are really suffering from this. To be selfish enough to go ahead and display that sort of a vile, disgusting act. Okay. And we could even get into the logistics of, did he really try to do something, or was it just for show, or was it just, that attention grab again? Because I've known people that were trying to take away their lives. I've spoke with people that were cutters before, and again, I'll get into it more. I'll get into it more. It is pretty disgusting. And people say, well, it's post-sepsis syndrome. You know how many people have that in the world and did not do a gruesome act like Perez Hilton did? And if you actually go and listen to the audio and hear him speak the way he did, it's the same exact Perez Hilton from years and years ago that I've been screaming about back in December, and others have too. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter X finally saying some things, boldly saying some things, because they're afraid too, I'm glad that Perez is good. I hope he gets the help he needs. But the serious issue here is, how could that slip by? How could anybody prop this up and be okay with it? And the hypocrisy comes when you look at the anti-gypsy people and essentially, their idea is the same thing, with Gypsy Rose, they'll bring that up, but then they won't hold themselves accountable. They won't hold, they absolutely lose all moral and integrity. Their morals go out the window. Their integrity is out the window. When I confronted them about Perez Hilton back in December, they told me to go F off. Those comment sections that I still have available to read on this very channel, all of it was praising Perez Hilton. Give him a break. It was the same bullshit. Give him a break, guys. He's different now. Who cares about his past? Well, I'm telling you, we're always right. We'll get into more of those details in a moment here, but I do want to show you guys the board, the big board. Let me see over here, guys. Look at this, guys. Look at this. This is such a cute little baby, right? That's the demon sperm of Kim Fowley, guys. Here's another hypocrite in Scott Blanken shithead over here, because he's the one that actually, he stands up for things that happened 30, 40 years ago, rape against 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, and 14-year-olds, because his current wife, Kara, has married this guy, Kim Fowley, the demon sperm, the father of his demon sperm right now. And what does he say? What does Scott say? Well, his excuse is it happened 30, 40 years ago, so who cares? It happened during the height of the Me Too movement for it to be brought to light, so who cares? Who cares? That's his, these are the people. They're the gross ones. They're disgusting, vile individuals. So there's that one right there. But isn't he cute, though? Look at Kim Fowley over here with the makeup. Kim Fowley Jr., KFJ, guys, KFJ. That's no JFK, that's KFJ, KFC. On our last live stream, we had Ken Euchre's sister on here because she has nothing better to do. Let's be honest. She has nothing better to do but consistently lie. She's a liar. And she's going to sell her dignity for the low price of $100. Ask Rogie. He knows. Rogie knows all about that, guys. It doesn't cost that much to purchase Ken Euchre's sister. And we found out quickly how easy it is to trigger Wine Ox Puppy over here. He was trying to get in the guts of Ken Euchre's sister, trying to get Rogie's leftovers. And we found out that he actually did get in the guts of Tara. And if you know, Mr. Winox Puppy sells shitty merchandise, guys. He spray paints on his dumbass purses that he gets from the Goodwill and Salvation Army and so on and so forth. I mean, he's a vile, disgusting human being. He actually gets all of his merchandise that he sells. He resources it from, again, these thrift stores, guys. And he also goes dumpster diving at the Sunny Meadows Senior Care, guys. Dumpster diving is a huge deal, guys. And he goes into the donations bin and he takes all of the senior citizens' donations to the good people, so he could collect some of his shitty purses and spray paint it on. God. Yeah. Moving along here. How's everyone doing? You guys doing all right? I hope so. Of course you are. We're going to talk about these tragedy pimps over here. That's what we're going to do. But of course, we're going to cover Perez Hilton after this. I do want to talk about these prison phone calls. Have you guys noticed that from that anti-gypsy community, all of the individuals out there, all the creators start coming back? They were silent for months now, right? They were at least silent for a month or two because of us, by the way, because we made things very uncomfortable for them. And here they are. They get their food. What does that mean? They're getting their fix, guys. They're fixed because they're addicts. They're addicted to Gypsy Rose Blanchard. And anything that surrounds her or her people, whether it's Ryan Anderson phone calls, Ken Urker phone calls, Ken and Euchre. You know, they're all out of the woodworks now. They came out of the woodworks. Lori, the cream expert, remember her with their fake ass documentary? She even came out since of the prison phone calls, because that's all they want, guys. They just want snark. They just want drama. They don't care about truth. It was never about justice for Dee. And they should be ashamed of themselves, you know, or at least admit it. Say that's all you guys are about. That's why you're making money. Stop being the tragedy grifters that you are, you frauds, you fakes. I mean, you have Audrey the Gross out there who abused her own child, actually, and blamed it on her ex. Look at her being so gross, coming out here lying to the people about a damn fire that never happened. Well, it happened, but it happened 2 years prior to a home her mother never lived in. Has she ever apologized correctly? Has she ever showed everyone the receipts properly? Has she even done that thing? Has she notified GoFundMe of her and that fraudulent campaign? Of course not, guys. There are no receipts. These people just keep going. They keep going. They keep on doing their bullshit, you know, but they're too afraid to admit to their people that they're only doing this for money, clout, and drama and snark. You know, at this point, it's such a joke right now that they're salivating over phone calls from prison. I mean, that's all they have. Whatever they can have that would touch Gypsy or that touched Gypsy at one point, that's all they seem to care about, right? Where's the justice for Dee in the prison phone calls? That's a question. Where is justice for Dee when it comes to Ryan Anderson talking to Gypsy Rose on a phone call from prison back in whenever? Where's justice for Dee when it comes to Christy Blanchard talking to Gypsy on a prison phone call? Where is justice when Ken Urker is calling and talking to Gypsy Rose on a phone call from prison? There is no justice for Dee. They're all frauds. They all lied to you. They're all fake. They're faking it to make it, to fill their own pockets with money. And look at what they did. I mean, whether you like Perez Hilton or not. And you know what? I really don't have a position, honestly. I thought maybe I did hate him, but I really don't know him and I don't care. But, I feel like they definitely contributed to whatever happened the other night with him. And I can explain that further because, again, like I mentioned a few minutes ago, they propped him up. The guy was getting less than 40 live viewers until they stepped in. And pretty much used him. But he was using them as well for money and clout. So, again, I think they're both. What he did was evil last night. Pure evil. And, of course, you see the likes of Audrey the Gross jumping on a TikTok live to only exploit that tragedy and that situation there. And when I talk about the tragedy, it's really directed towards, Perez Hilton's children, and I think there are, 3 children there. One is maybe 13, the other 11 and 9. I could be off a little bit. They're old enough to actually maybe even access this stuff somehow, on the internet, because they know that their father is on the internet doing TikTok and all that. I mean, just imagine, and the mother, of course, of Perez, just imagine the moment that she found out, possibly on Twitter, possibly on TikTok herself. She knows what her son's been doing, But what does the Gypverse do? What does the anti-Gypsy community do? Nothing. You know what? They actually moved on. They only care about the prison phone calls right now. This is what they do. They use and abuse people They throw him away. They chew him up, throw him away. Remember, he was supposed to be the savior, guys. He was supposed to be the guy. Perez Hilton was supposed to be that dude who's going to take it to mainstream media for their dumb asses over there. And look at what happened. Nothing. Something like this happens, and they're not only pretty much silent, but they're having hard-ons. I mean, they're having these overwhelming sexual feelings over these phone calls that they're receiving. By the way, it's absolutely disgusting and gross. It tells you exactly who those people are. They are evil, and what you saw from Perez Hilton was pure evil and disgust. These people say that they're worried about children. Why aren't they worried about a child scrolling through that and seeing that? And you know what? Children did see that last night. Young children saw it last night. And I would say it's even in the thousands range. So think about that. Think about that. And there's a lot to consider when we're going to be talking about this. But just think about that. So here it is right here. Another, and I know people are like, well, I like Morgan Elena, They're all tragedy pimps at this point. There's nothing new going on as far as the case. Don't tell me Morgan Elena is a true crime creator. She's not. All she talks about is Gypsy Rose because that's where the money is. Period. End of story. Someone who's milking it to the point, and her videos are also purely, most of it's bullshit. Most of it's snark, guys. Let's be real. All of these people are all about snark at this point because that's all there's left. There's nothing there of substance. None of these people will stand up and say, hey, should we truly get justice for Dee Dee? That is exactly why I left those people. They have no focus. They're absolutely starving. They hunger for snark. They hunger for conspiracy theories, and that's about it. They don't care about whatever they're trying to preach over here. They just use that as a position to get what they want, whether it's money, whether it's attention, whether it's their own fulfillment of their obsession or new addiction. And that's pretty much it. So this person is actually laughable. Morgan Elena, I get it. She's a nice guy. She's so nice. Who gives a fuck? I mean, just be honest and say that all you're doing at this point is, covering snark. And there wouldn't be a problem here. That's the thing that they don't understand. They still want to portray that it's all for justice. It's all for, getting the truth out there. Bullshit. How many times have we heard that? How many times are they going to repeat that? And all you see from there is vile acts, disgusting, heinous things that they do, even in drama, whether it's on a TikTok panel, doxing and things like that or whatever. Participating in that kind of stuff, that kind of activity online where it just makes them a bunch of hypocrites because, they don't stand for any truth or justice. Just say it as it is. You're standing for them to be fed as far as snark and all this other bullshit, right? That really has nothing to do with justice. Becky, $5 super chat says, anti-Mimi are my people. Anti-Mimi. Hey, we get that. We get that very, very much. We have to agree with you on that one. Bunch of dorks, bunch of losers over there on that side. But here is Morgan Elena saying, please read the individual or walls sharing the GRB calls with creators and the public want to be anonymous. They aren't involved in social media drama and want to stay that way. Please stop and any random accusations, trying to reveal their identity, attempts to dox them, etc. They will stop sharing the files completely with creators, the public, and shut it all down. If their privacy is compromised or they continue to feel threatened, they don't have to share. They're doing a generous thing for us, guys. You mean you, Morgan Elena? So you can make more money? And whoever is releasing them,
does not matter. They wish to be private. Bottom line, if we want these calls released, please respect their wishes.
What a fraud. What a fake. This person over here, Morgan Elena, you know what's sick about that anti-gypsy community? Even their own has to call out their own, right? They have to call their own out and say, guys, don't mess it up for us. These desperate creators that need more content at this point, because prison phone calls is content, meaning it is money. That is why everybody's back at it again. Lori the Cream expert, Becca Scoops, doing a live stream tonight. About what, guys? No more. I thought she couldn't talk about the Gypsy Rose case anymore. I thought Becca Scoops signed an NDA for her documentary. Bullshit. She said she couldn't talk about Gypsy Rose anymore. But guess what happened? Becca Scoops found out that the Cider family community were going to kick her ass to the curb, calling her out for stealing content from them, just like she did in the Gypverse. Oops. Yeah, that's what happened. And then she crawled back to where? Mimi's live panel the other night. Yeah, why would she do that? Because she realized she pretty much maximized everything she possibly could monetarily with the Cider's family situation over there. So now here she comes crawling back. And what a perfect time for her to do so, to capitalize off of what? The prison phone calls. Yeah. So here it is right here. Please stop any random accusations trying to reveal their identity, attempts to dox them. You know, this is exactly what those people do on the anti-gypsy community side. They've been doing this forever. FBI's been screaming it. I mean, other people have from Reddit. Audrey the Gross was also trying to dox people, just people from Reddit who are anti-gypsy as well. People like Frodo, Biscuit, and there's some other names I don't remember. I'm sorry about that. But everybody over there at the subreddits, over there on Reddit, the gypsy subreddits over there. Audrey the Grouse was trying to dox these individuals. And look at right here, anti-gypsy community doing the same thing. They always have to come up with some sort of theory that it doesn't seem right. How could these phone calls just be leaked, like sent to different creators, you know, because they're dumb. They're low IQ, just like Becca Scoops has preached over and over and over again. And that's all they do. They want to find out conspiracy theories. They want to understand. They want to know who is behind everything, you know, just like the blanket video, right? Hell, they think the blanket video where Gypsy Rose took some scissors and cut up a little blanket is far worse than what happened last night. Are you kidding me? With Perez Hilton traumatizing people for about 34 to 38 minutes or so. I believe it was almost 36 minutes. 36 minutes. He did this. He was on a live stream doing this. You know how many children swiped through, scrolled through that? Think about it. And how many saw it, whether it was on X or other social media platforms, quickly thereafter? Because it took X, Twitter, almost, 14 hours, 12, 14 hours or so to completely get rid of those videos. But right now, there's still those videos. They're trying to take it down, but it's just not happening. Because once it's on the internet, it just goes everywhere. Hell, you could get it over there on Reddit right now if you wanted to. Yeah, it was about 36 minutes or so. It could have been longer. It could have been about 38. But from what I've been hearing, it's at least about 36. So there's that. Let's see here. So yeah, these people are trying to dox themselves. They're like, who's the one that's leaking the prison phone call? And look at over here. This is Morgan Elena's. This tells you everything you need to know about her. They will stop sharing the files completely with creators. Why is creators the first? The public, and shut it all down. Why is she making this post? Because it's affecting her money situation. You know, she doesn't want, like, Morgan Elena, why don't you fucking do what Into the Weeds did and file a damn FOIA for it? What are you too cheap ass to do it right now? Because I'll tell you what, while these morons are complaining about their own people and trying to dox them, and who released all these prison phone calls, while they're doing this, and I guess these are the people right here, the Gypsy Rose prison calls, that were being harassed for, their identity somehow. Well, guess what, guys? Of course, Into the Weeds pulls through, and I'm going to share the Google Drive. Thank you to both, Amber, number one, and Alora. I don't give two shits about the phone calls because it doesn't really affect me in any way or interest me at all. But I'm going to go ahead and drop the Google Drive. Now, all of the phone calls aren't up there. I would say about 60 odd phone calls right now, and it'll be added as the days go on here. So if you want that, I'll go ahead and pin it to the comment section, and I'll go ahead and I'll put that link right there for you guys to access, courtesy of Into the Weeds. And, at your heart content, do what you want. What are you going to dox Into the Weeds now, you dumb fucks? Anti-gypsy idiots over there. Always trying to figure out, who did this and what is this conspiracy theory. Yet here we go, Into the Weeds, right? They've done a lot for those numbnuts over there. And I don't know why they're continuing to do so. They're still trying to help these morons out, right? Still feeding them their brains, because they're a bunch of zombies, infected, Walking Dead people over there on that anti-gypsy side. And, they need to eat their brains. Brains. But there it is. Amber, thank you so much. And I guess you could knock yourselves out if you want to listen to it. Again, what does it have to do with justice and truth? Absolutely nothing. Will it be entertaining? Probably. I'm no hypocrite here. I'm sure, a lot of women, like case studies, will find it very interesting to listen to those phone calls. Who wouldn't, right? I mean, I'm sure you're all human and interested. Me, doesn't interest me one bit, but, do what you got to do. Thanks to Into the Weeds for casually just dropping that shit, guys. Dropping it. Not making a big deal out of it and stuff like that. Just like, here you go, While those numbskulls like Morgan Elena and all these people are like, we want to get our content. Guys, what if they never give it to us? And you got case studies pretending it's all top secret shit. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, like he was the only one that had all of these. I mean, Into the Weeds had it. All right, so shut the fuck up. And I think even 1980s Millennial has it as well. I mean, they're trying to act like this is top secret shit. I mean, it's available. You want it? It's right there. Again, for the people, the replay crew, I'm going to make sure I take a note. And, let me see here. I'm going to take a note. And there's the drive. You know what? Let me pin it to the bottom, guys. Let me pin it to the bottom for people that come in. What should I say? Prison pussy calls. No, prison phone calls. And then I'll pin it at the very bottom right there of the live chat. Let me guess, it's going to be on the little snark page and everybody's, they're all going to go, guys, I got it. I got it all, guys. They don't have to wait anymore. They don't have to wait for the stupid ass content creator to commentary over it, like dumbass commentary from case studies, stuttering and there it is, right there, guys. Pin to the live chat right there. Again, hell, thank you to the Weeds for that. They always pull through. I don't know why they would for this dumbass community over there. I mean, they're ungrateful sons of bitches. Just know that they're always ungrateful losers over there. They really need to get their shit together, man. It's like snap out of it at one point. Look, I get it. Somebody asked me today, hey, Are you going after all of the Gypsy Rose creators and, and that's not even it. I'm going after the fake, fraud, scummy piece of shit ones, man. The true tragedy grifters, grifting off tragedies. It kind of comes with the territory here, but there's different levels. There's different levels to grifting. There's different levels of hypocrisy, right? Because everyone's a hypocrite, but there's different levels. And the people that we've been talking about, guys, are the levels that they go to is extreme, guys. They're scum of the earth. They need to be called out. And again, you could tell by how they react to this Perez Hilton situation, which I promise we're going to get to. I am still waiting for Jessicos if she's ready to come by over here, and because I know she wants to jump into the discussion. I don't even know what her viewpoint is, so it should be interesting. That's a good thing, right? Over here, it doesn't matter. I'm not here to convince you of my viewpoint on what happened, and because I'm not saying I'm right or and I'm not wrong, but I'm not here to say like, hey, you got to think my way. Or I'm just trying to, when I think about some of this stuff, especially what happened yesterday and things like that, I kind of want to bring you into my thought process, I guess, because I know I'm not alone. When I might be a minority when it comes to the way I think, though. It's not because it's usually against the majority, and not on purpose, though. Not on purpose. When it comes to social issues, when it comes to even politics and stuff, it's always not black or white, I guess. It's really just. It's a different approach. I don't know. But I think a lot of people do still have that, because I saw, before I went live here, I just kind of like looked at some of the TikTok, not the TikTok, the Twitter X responses now. And it's much more different than it was last night about the whole Perez Hilton situation. But still, there are still people with that majority thought process of how they feel about that. And again, I'll explain it a little further as we get into the story and some of the details. All right. So there that is right there. Again, into the weeds with the prison phone calls. I believe she's going to be releasing more, right? So stay tuned. She's just kind of sifting through it, making sure that the phone calls are from Gypsy, and it's not like a random prisoner that just slipped in there. So just to make sure it is, applicable. That's a good word. So here it is. Look at this letter right here. It's so simple to get. And all these people are trying to come up with these conspiracies, but here it is, just as simple as this. August 5th. In fact, it's dated today, guys, dated today. But there it is right there. Let's see what we have here. Sparky380, thank you for the $5 super chat, says Perez children will eventually see this, so should be mindful of that. Oh, yeah. See, if you think about it, if you want to blame, if you want to give him the excuse that, hey, it's okay, Perez, you had this sepsis syndrome. When's the last time you saw something like that? Probably never on a TikTok live before. There's combination of things. I get it. Mental health. Hell, I struggle with that too, but there's also you as a human being of what should actually, like, your actions have consequences. And this, what happened was absolutely evil. And in the sense of how it was broadcast to everybody. And the things that he said showed you that he did not care. And his goal was to shock. His goal was to, have it be, something that everybody would never forget, And so if you really looked at those videos and listened to them and, if you actually, I don't even want to say study, but you kind of viewed it and saw what was going on. It was someone, it was Perez Hilton. It was Perez, as he has been. And that's why I called him out back in December to these. I'm like, how could you want this individual, use this individual to spread truth for justice for Didi? How does that even make sense from all the, and people say, well, it's a past and all that. I get it. People, have a past and they might be, sorry about it and things like that. But when it's not like he changed. Where the hell did he change from last night? The dude is 48 years old. I'm 48 as well. I mean, you know better in life at that point. And to hop on a live stream, do that, and traumatize thousands upon thousands of people. You know how many people are not going to get that image out of their head? And the image is, embedded in their minds forever, And, even the sounds are it's so disturbing. And I mean, it's like you're forced to watch a cartel video. I don't know if anybody's ventured into that. It is you just never forget about these things. I mean, you get traumatized, and people didn't ask for that. So, and children watch that. That's the main point of it. That's the main point of it. And you don't see people with mental illnesses doing what you saw last night. And I would challenge anybody to say, when's the last time you saw something like that? And I don't think it's ever happened. So people are acting like it's, oh, no problem, it's a daily event. I don't know, let's just excuse his act and his behavior clearly, and not think about like, well, when's the last time you saw something like that happen or occur? And of course, you think about it, if it was for his children, because he even says it at one point, this is for my children or something like that. And he's even mocking people as he's doing this. And, there's no stabbing happening. Again, I could get more descriptive in it. There's no stabbing. There's no deep cuts to any sort of major artery and things like that, guys. I mean, it's just cutters do this. I met this guy. He used to cut his stomach a lot, and he wouldn't do it to kill himself. But he would do it because there was a release of anxiety. Like some of the anxiety that he had was kind of gone due to the cutting, I guess. And, just going off of that. And I met another person who did that to their wrists, but they didn't mean to, the objective wasn't to, kill themselves. It was mainly to release some sort of anxiety or, and stuff. Endorphins, is it? Yeah, I don't know the correct terminology. So yeah, he was definitely, the knife was very dull, and you can tell he wasn't doing anything where he would be, you could have hundreds of cuts, guys, with a dull knife or a knife in general. And you'll definitely survive. You'll definitely survive. I mean, look it up. Hell, you could have thousands of cuts. If it's not deep, nothing's going to happen. You'll have scratch, and yeah, blood coming out, but you're not going to lose that amount of blood unless you're cutting and cutting deep. And so for that to be a display, I mean, it shows a lot of that person, Perez's, I mean, clearly it was for shock and show. And it's really disgusting and vile if you think about it, because when you listen to him and the audio closely, I don't know if you guys listen to all of the audio. You see him adding people on panel, right? Calling them motherfuckers, and they're going, hey, what's going on? Same old Perez. And he's like, oh, guys, I'm just going to commit suicide here, laying on the bed and doing, man, it's just like, and then he starts adding other people. He added 2 people initially, like 2 guys. And after that, he added, I think 3 individuals, 2 girls, 1 guy or something like that. So again, a lot comes out from that audio where you're like, wow, and he's so casual about it and just and he was making those dumbass noises that were like sexual noises almost. And he's like, oh, this feels good. You know, it hurts, but it feels so good. And, you know, yeah, he was moaning and stuff like that. And it's just like, I don't know. But there's some other things I wanted to read from the police department that they released. They even said that he wasn't trying to take his life. So think about that. It was just self-harm is what they said. And they made it absolutely clear it wasn't motive to unalive themselves or commit suicide. They even confirmed it from the Miami, what is it, Dade County or whatever, police. Anyhow, so I'm just kind of like stretching this out over here, guys. So this was back in December. I did a video or a live stream that was 2 hours, right here, 3 hours almost. And this is where Audrey came up, and she, you know, I confronted her about it. I said, did you hear anything I said about the Perez Hilton problem and why it's not a good idea to platform this guy? And I was explaining, you know, here's the reason. At this time, December 2025, he wasn't getting views. He was getting very minimal views. When I used to see him before the Gyp first got a hold of him, the anti-Gyp dips over there, before they got a hold of him, he was on a lucky day, on a lucky live stream, getting about 40 live viewers, and that was it. That was like the most I've ever seen him get. Sometimes it would be like less than 20 on his YouTube channel or TikTok. I mean, it was really low numbers until they got a hold of him, the anti-gypsy community, the Gypverse. So they get a hold of him and they want to use him to get the word out, to hopefully reach mainstream media, because they're all delusional. So they do this, and the only one who spoke out about this very, very, very quickly, I get up on my live stream back in December right here. That's on the screen, and it's still live if you want to go see it. It's in the catalogs. It's in the archives right here, so you could actually search it up. Just put Perez Hilton problem, morbid, or Sir Morbid X. It'll pop up on YouTube. And called him out. I put a bunch of news clips together, tried to get them to see the light. Like, this is not the guy you want to get you justice for Dee Dee. But here's the problem with that anti-gypsy side. They don't care. As long as, it feeds their hate bond, they don't care. All morals, integrity goes out the window. They don't care. I was at one point, if you go listen to that past live stream, you'll see that a lot of people on my panel were agreeing with me because the things that I was presenting made sense. It was logical, you just use common sense. You're like, holy shit, why are we trying to platform Perez Hilton, who was pretty much irrelevant at that point? But Perez Hilton, of course, realizes, wow, this is kind of like a built-in audience niche. They seem like they'll go ahead and prop me up. And boy, did they, right? And Audrey came up on that live and, she tried to, she tried to say things to me. And, she's like, don't talk about me. If you're going to talk about me, make sure you email me first. And I don't even know Audrey at that time. I still don't, but I really didn't know her at that time. That was the very first time we spoke, and she's telling me to email her. And I asked her directly. I said, all that you heard and what I just said about Perez Hilton, what do you think now, having children? Because it was that sort of situation. I went over some of the stuff that was done in the past, and with him and involving, like, who was that? I forgot the singer, Miley Cyrus, and the upskirt video where he took pictures of her when she was like 16 or something like that. Pictures of her panties and stuff. So anyhow, but I got killed, guys. I got killed. The only person that was cheering me on was Sheena and Bree. But that's when I realized, yeah, it's over. There is no justice for Dee. These people only care about their own, feeding their own hate bond and their obsession. And look we don't even have to prove anything. These prison phone calls, guys, absolutely show you that they're all about the snark. They're all about whatever drama is between these characters they so beloved, like Gypsy Rose and Ryan Anderson and Ken and Christy. That's all they care about. It's funny because they were complaining about Javier from the Pretend podcast saying it's the most beloved killer or something like that, murderer. And they all got their panties in a bunch because Javier labeled it beloved murderer here. But ain't it true? Because they love her so much. What are they going to do without her? They are in love with Gypsy. They are obsessed with her and they don't even get it. And they never will unless they snap out of it. That's our job, is to get them to snap out of it. Because I don't care if you make Gypsy Rose content. Just be real about it. And let the people know that all you care about is continuing the snark, all right, and making money off of it and getting views off of it. That's it. That's it. Don't talk about no justice for Dee Dee. Don't talk about you're trying to get truth out there, because these prison phone calls have nothing to do about the case itself and what actually happened. So there's that Perez Hilton problem. Back in December, if you want to go check it out, it was here on this channel, so you guys could go through the archives over here. Let's see here. Let's see what you guys are saying in the live chat. Maybe we'll have some phone calls while we're waiting. Who knows? I don't know. If our guest is going to come. Not even our guest, our host. Where the fuck is the host? No, I'm kidding. Of course, Jeff's Coast over here. Again, this was like a spontaneous sort of thing, so I'm not even sure if she can make it. Who knows? But I'll hold it down. Let me see. I'm just trying to see if there's anything. Let me see. Even the ones that say Gypsy Rose at the beginning are other inmates. I never locked down. Okay. Is Amber still in the chat? Into the weeds. So I just read this message from her. I don't know. That was about an hour ago. And she may have locked up the prison phone calls access to it in the Google Drive. I'm not sure if it's available right now. But it might be. It might be later, because I think a lot of the phone calls that say it's Gypsy Rose Blanchard, let's see, at the beginning are other inmates over there. So, they want to make sure that they're putting out, my son's still playing D&D. Okay. Kick your son off that computer. I'm just kidding. So, live chat. Did anybody see the Perez Hilton live? How about this? Let's start here. Who was in the Perez Hilton live? Who was in the Perez Hilton live when it was actually happening in real time? So it happened yesterday, last night. I believe it was about 6 p.m. Pacific Standard, maybe. I'm not sure. Storm Eagling, you were in there. Were you in there for the entire live stream? One thing I was trying to get information on was the beginning of the live stream, whether he was already nude and was he already a little bit bloodied, I guess. Everything that I've sort of researched seems like it was that way, that he had some cuts on him already and he was already nude. It wasn't like he took off his clothes during this 36-minute sort of situation that was on his live. And trust me, he would have been on there longer. And he was even putting on a show. I saw a video, news video, where Perez Hilton you could see him through the window from the news perspective on the street, on his street in Miami. And you can see the police officers there. And it's almost like he's doing this dance, just like the same thing he was doing on the TikTok live, almost like putting on a show for people, trying to, very strange, odd. And, and I was watching coverage of some others who talked about it, Ethan being one of them. Ethan over on TikTok. I like him, actually. I like Ethan for some reason. I think he's pretty fair. I do. And he was covering it, and I guess he's been a friend of or friendly with Perez Hilton. And he was talking about it. He talked about how maybe he was suspecting that he was on drugs or something like that. Again, I don't know those details, but he was maybe suspecting that. And then he was saying he should never be able to go. He should never be able to be on TikTok or any other social media platform. And when you think about it, for someone who actually went online to traumatize people live, I 100% agree with him. There should be no social media company allowing this guy to ever have a platform. But that's what the Gypverse did. Anti-gypsy people gave him that platform, gave him the viewers, and really built up his channel through their hate bond for Gypsy Rose. And that was the thing I was calling out back in December. And look at what happened. And where are they? Where are they? Are they ever going to take accountability for themselves? This vile, evil act that they pretty much participated in a sense, because they platformed the guy. They're silent. They're happy about the prison phone calls, guys. They're happy about the prison phone calls at this point. Morbid, you're so much better speaking normal rather than reading in that weird voice for hours. You're probably right. That's my troll voice, actually. I don't know where it came from, though. Let's see here. So we have maybe a couple people that saw it live. And do we confirm Stormy Eagling? I don't know if you're still in here since you saw the live stream. Do you know at the beginning of the live, was he nude already, and did he have cuts on him? Again, the resources I kind of sift through before coming on live, it showed that he was both nude and also had cuts and blood on him already as he started that live. So it's yes. Okay. So it is yes. So that again, it says a lot of things, but so yes, he was nude and full of cuts. All right. And let me see what else you guys were talking about, because it was a serrated knife. Maybe what did you guys say in the chat here? Somebody said something about the knife. According to Audrey, it wasn't serrated, and it was a brisket knife that she later called a carving knife. Audrey is a piece of shit. She was on live yesterday when this all was going down. The person that platformed him multiple times on her channel, right, guys? Multiple times. You know what she says? Something like it was the, like a religious sort of ritual thing. She was trying to spread that bullshit rumor about that, which is such bullshit. And you know what? Because she said he was repeating 4 numbers or something, and it was his phone number. Someone had to come up on her panel and say it was his phone number. She's like, oh, okay. But she was totally like gung-ho about it being like some religious thing because he found Jesus or something like that. It's just ridiculous. She doesn't care. She just spills bullshit. That's what I'm saying. She's such a liar. Gross. Wicked Queen says, thank you for the $10 super chat. It's morbid. This was never about justice for Dee Dee. Even the ones who say they knew Didi just want fighting and drama. It's all been one big joke. I mean, absolutely. And I think like more and more people will come to light on this. Right now, I think the temperature is that, people are still going to be addicted to this hate train because, now they got the prison phone calls. And if you look at the coverage of these prison phone calls, if you take a step back, if you can, if you're an anti-gypsy person, if you take a step back and you look at it outside in, looking in, you will recognize, well, what's the purpose of all this? Why do they care at this point about that? They could use the time and the energy to actually get something else done productively, but they don't. If they really wanted justice or things like that, they could totally use their energy and time instead of searching out for these dumb ass, prison phone calls and being constantly obsessed with the daily snark. Go do something, but they don't want to, because the truth is they are a bunch of junkies when it comes to snark and when it comes to drama. That's all they care about are the tea and deets and the conspiracy theories, period, end of story. Let's see here. And I wish I had some video to show you right now. No, not that video. Oh, man. So type 1 if you saw some of the video, or type 2 if you didn't see it at all. You avoided it at all costs. Type 1 if you actually saw a portion of the video, some of the video, or didn't see it at all. Type 2 just to get a temperature of, there's 200 people in here about. And okay, so we're about, okay. I say we are well above 60% who saw it. Definitely. About 60% who saw it just by looking quickly at the numbers that you guys are throwing out there. But just imagine the thousands and thousands of people, hell, hundreds of thousands of people who came across that video last night and today. Some being children. Just imagine that. How, yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah, I did see some comparison between the Ariana Grande. Is that how you say her name? I guess she had a new music video or something, and she's full of blood. I guess that came out a few days ago. Is there, again, that falls in the lines of those conspiracy theories, right? Like, did he copy that? Was he a huge fan? That's what he was trying to go for. The shock factor. Perez Hilton has always been about that. She did take it down. Okay, so Mac OG, she probably took it down because of this, right? I'm assuming, or was there a lot of backlash prior to it? Anyhow, I don't know, or a combination of the two. Let's see here. I should have stuff set up here. I'll just kind of go over some of the maybe a timeline of events that happened yesterday. Some relevant background. So back in April 2026, guys. So that was few months ago. Back in March through April, Perez had some serious health problems. All right. And he spent 21 days, hospitalized with severe sepsis. And a lot of people were talking about that. And this was after some sort of ulcer perforation. And I think the reason why was because he was taking medication for an infection, but he wasn't eating with, you don't have to, you have to eat to make sure that you line your stomach properly. But I guess he did not do that part. So he ended up getting an ulcer, perforation, I should say. Shortly after that, Perez returned to the hospital, and he had deep vein thrombosis and basically blood clots in his leg, I believe, and underwent emergency surgery there to remove that large blood clot from his leg. And so that's some of the background, because he did have these medical issues, physical medical issues, back in March, April, this 2026, this year. And June 17th, so a couple months ago, he moved from, because he was living in Las Vegas, we knew that, and he moved to Miami. I believe that's where he was originally from. I'm not sure. And Perez announced that himself, his 3 children, were going to move from Las Vegas to Miami, and to be closer to his mom, of course, and other relatives, probably to help out with the children. I'm not sure. But going back home there. And then in June 26th, this year, Hilton was discussing, his feelings of being overwhelmed. I think there was a YouTube video, which we could probably take a look at in a moment here, where he posted this about, what did he say? He said that he was in a bit of a spiral and felt overwhelmed by the move coming from Las Vegas to, I guess, back to Miami. He started to feel anxious, and said he was attempting to improve his mental well-being through exercising in his newfound faith, Christianity, I believe. And so there's that there. So that happened back in June of 26. I could probably pull up a video clip so you could actually see that, where he talks about that. I'm not sure if it has a link here. Graphic live stream and hospitalization appear to blah, blah, blah. Okay. Moving to Miami. Maybe that's that. It might be this. Oh, yeah. It's a long video, though. Long ass video. Let me see. Essentially, he says he was in a bit of a spiral because he was overwhelmed from his move. And I already talked about that. The video is entitled, "I Fell Off the Wagon in Every Sense." Maybe that's the wrong video I had. If I do have that video, I'll play it for you guys so you can see that. I'm just like buying time right now. All right, hold on one second. I got Perez here. It's probably, let me see where that video is. I should have, let me see. It's called "I Fell Off the Wagon." Okay, this is 3 minutes long. Gotcha. What is Talk Rose saying over there in chat? Let me see here. Okay, we're good there. We're good there. Actually, let me continue with the timeline. So Tuesday, which was yesterday, August 4th, 2026. Now, this is before 6:15 p.m. The TikTok live stream began. 6:51 p.m. And during this TikTok live stream, Perez, he was inside of his Miami area home. So his new home that he purchased. People were speculating, like, was he in a hotel? He was actually inside of his Miami area home. You could visibly see him. For those who haven't seen the video, you could see that he was already injured when he hit the TikTok live stream, and seemed to be engaging in self-harm. And that's the key word right there. Viewers pleaded with him to stop, in the live chat. Be interesting to see some of that, the live chat, if it's available anywhere, just to read people's reactions, I guess, to what, they were exposed to this sort of vile, evil act for that long of a period of time. And at that point, viewers were attempting to obtain his telephone number. That's the same number that Audrey the Gross was thinking it was a religious sort of situation and a ritual or something like that. Go fuck yourself, Audrey the Gross. I mean, that's how gross Audrey is. She just blurts shit out like as if she knew, like, just shut up, just shut up. So viewers were trying to get his telephone number and his address so that clearly they could call 911. Multiple viewers contacted authorities, and that's where you saw, or I think a lot of the scanner, the Miami, the Dade County scanner information that was coming by, like all the 911 calls, so on and so forth. I've heard some of those recordings, and I'm sure you could probably get access to that, whether it's on Twitter or YouTube or something like that. And the recordings of the live were captured. And of course, it was spread all over, whether it was on TikTok. And TikTok it was weird because they were really shutting it down because I'm sure they were going to get a lot of backlash for this one because they allowed it to happen for that amount of time of 36 minutes or so, 38 minutes, 36, I would say. And, they were really on top of it to make sure that it didn't pop up again anywhere else. And of course, Instagram was sharing it. And the place that I was getting some of those video clips was from Twitter X, which it seems like they got a hold of it now, a little bit under control, where they're not, you're not able to really see the graphic nature of those videos. What's up, AK-47? You guys wouldn't believe this. What does he say? You guys wouldn't believe this, but I had the most wonderful day, my best friend. We went in downtown and looked at the old school shit work like skateboarding, whatever or not. Very, very cool, AK-47. Thanks for letting us know that, man. Appreciate that. Let's see here. Here's the crazy thing. TikTok, they put a statement out saying that the live stream lasted approximately 15 minutes, but that was a lie because all the viewers were saying it was active. The live stream, the TikTok live was active lot more than 30 minutes, and TikTok was saying, no, it was like 15, as if that was going to make it any better, right? It's going to make it any better for TikTok right there. I heard in the range of 34 to 38 minutes. 34 to 38 minutes. And people were reporting it as it was going on. There were screen recordings of people reporting it, and still nothing. It came back with no violations at that time. Which is crazy, right? Because we know how TikTok works. If you've been on a panel and you said nothing, and then your live gets taken down. Hell, your account gets decimated in that process. Let's see here. So the live stream started around, let's say, 6:51 p.m. Approximately at 6:51 p.m. I guess the live stream was probably started around 6:20-ish, somewhere in that time frame. And at 6:51, there was that first documented emergency dispatch. And that dispatch audio, it records the Miami authorities receiving a report of a possible suicide. And it was at Perez Hilton's Miami address. And that was approximately 6:51 p.m., which means, Perez had started that live stream around 6:20-ish or a little bit later, I would say. I wonder if they still have that recording. I don't think People Magazine does a great job in getting the recording up and running. Let me see. As I'm trying to go through this timeline here with you guys. Nope. They don't have links to that for some reason. Nope, I don't see it. Oh, well, that's fine. Let's see here. What else are you guys talking about over here? No carrier cunt. Rose. Are you causing problems? Talk with Rose. Are you being a backstabber? What's going on? All right, so that happened. The first documented emergency dispatch is about 6:51 p.m. Let's see here. Again, with the possible suicide was the emergency dispatch classification. So there were early police responses. The deputies arrived at the residence at the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office, deputies who responded to Perez's home. And clearly after receiving all of those phone calls, as he was live streaming acts of self-harm. Again, they describe it as self-harm and not suicide because essentially that's what it was. And I don't want to minimize, that he needs mental help. And it's like, seriously. But the way he was going about doing it was clearly for show. Clearly for shock value there. And that's very disturbing because that is so Perez Hilton. And again, people have been calling him out for those types of behaviors. That is why he was permanently banned off of TikTok. And who platforms him and gets him thousands and thousands of viewers? That would be Audrey the Gross. That would be Becca Scoops. That would be all of them who propped him up in the Gypverse when he only had 20, maybe 40 max live viewers at the time. Shame, shame, shame to that Gypverse. And where are they? Nowhere to be found. They're covering their latest snark on the prison phone calls for Gypsy Rose Blanchard. That is more important than actual children witnessing this evil act that they'll never get out of their minds. And a lot of thousands of people traumatized by what took place there. Let's see here. There was someone who subscribed, and thank you for subscribing. You're the first of you're the first and only for a year now, being a new subscriber here. Let's see here. I wish I was more prepared here, but I'm not. But hey, we'll do the best we can. Let me see if there's other things here that kind of give you that timeline of what was going on. So it was deemed a possible suicide, and it was just someone on a live stream that was committing acts of self-harm. Deputies spoke with family members at the scene, so it looks like family members showed up, and they confirmed, his family, while they were outside there, that Perez was alone inside of his Miami residence. So there's that. So curious to know who those family members are. Maybe it's the mom. Maybe it's, some other family members. Like Perez mentioned in a YouTube video that he's going to be closer to his mom and some other family members in Miami. And that's why that was the purpose for the move. Now people were wondering, where were the three kids, but Perez's kids, all three of them, they weren't inside, were not inside, during this incident. Now, approximately about 7:59 p.m. So let's just call it 8 p.m. Dispatch identifies Perez Hilton. So it's a confirmation that, yep, this is him. And they described the emergency as involving a streamer known as Perez Hilton. So that was at 7:59 p.m. last night is when they confirmed his identity. And of course, that went over police scanners. Police actually temporarily created some distance. I think they created some distance instead of immediately forcing entry because they were kind of barricaded or something like. There was a barricading situation or something like that where they couldn't get access to the home or inside the home for some time there because a lot of people were waiting to find out what was happening. And the sheriff's office actually technically described it as a tactically disengagement during that time. And I think a lot of people are like, well, why would they disengage? You know, of course they're going to go back. I mean, why would they just leave him? But that wasn't what it was. It was just like a temporarily creating that distance, maybe, you know, just to be able to communicate possibly or something like that, or continue the communication by separating the authorities and, you know, the person inside, which is Perez. And also they're trying to monitor at that time, clearly the situation, communicating with Perez's family as they're disengaging with that situation at his residence. The department explained that during a mental health crisis involving someone also inside a residence, they use those sort of tactics like time and distance, keep the communication alive, these crisis intervention techniques, et cetera. You know, if they have any reduced visible pressure from the officers, that might help with getting it progressed in the situation sort of figured out there. Let's see here. AK-47 sent gifted a membership. AK-47 Andrew over here with the Annie doll profile picture. We love it. We love it. And who got that membership? Sweet Lulu, 6194. Look at that. Andrew coming through. Thank you, Andrew. Andrew coming through over here. Let me see here. Approximately 10:41 p.m. Then you have the fire rescue assistance that was requested. This was 10:41 p.m. And they described the incident as a suicide attempt. Again, whoa. Andrew coming in here with 10 gifted membership. Wow, Andrew, look at you, man. Look at you. Look at all those lucky people. Hopefully they like the channel, though. Thank you, Andrew. Andrew's cool. Andrew. Shortly after 10:41, authorities entered the home. So they made entry at 10:41, so approximately at 11 p.m. So almost like the standoff was from like 7 almost to 11. So almost about 3 hours, a little more than 3 hours, I'd say, somewhere in that time range where they're outside his residence. And that's when they entered or made entry into Perez's house right there. And shortly thereafter, about 50 minutes later, when they made entry into the home at 11:30, they transported him to the hospital, which he probably is still to this day getting treatment on his wounds. Let's see here. The late Tuesday, so last night, very, very late, probably closer towards midnight, his management released a first statement, and that management is Golden Artist Entertainment, and it said it was aware of the concerning material circulating online at that point, and it was everywhere like wildfire, and Perez's representatives over there at Golden Artist Entertainment had been unable to contact him. They couldn't contact Perez directly despite repeated attempts, probably because he wasn't even close to his phone or answering it at all. And they emphasized that their primary concern was Perez's health at the time and the well-being of his family. And So there's that. Let me see what you guys are talking about. Morbid Mod chat. You guys are amazing and wonderful. Princess Rainbow, good to have you here. Those memberships shake the trolls out of the bushes sometimes. AK, yes it does. Yes it does. All right, so advancing to today. Earlier today, the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office actually confirmed that the person that was involved had been safely removed from his residence and transported to a local hospital for medical attention. That being, of course, Perez Hilton. And he was hospitalized under Florida's Baker Act. And if you don't know what that is, it basically permits an involuntary mental health examination. And I'm not sure what that hold would be, 72 hours maybe. I don't know what it is in Florida. I think I heard it was 72 hours. Huh. But that was earlier today. He did receive medical care. The family's focus was his well-being. They wanted the public to respect his and his family's privacy. They put that actually out, even on his, I believe, was it his Twitter account? Yes, it was his public Twitter account. Let's see. They said 72 hours. Yeah. Let's see here. Other things that happen. Wednesday, TikTok confirmed moderation failure and ban. So TikTok actually did make a public statement about this, saying that they failed to moderate the platform properly, clearly. And they also confirmed this, that its automated system flagged the live stream after several minutes, but they claim it was 15 minutes. Clearly, it was over 30 minutes. And the stream was then routed to human moderators, is what TikTok said. Do you think there are human moderators? Maybe, because Audrey the Gross got her damn channel back, right? Oh, man. A moderation error delayed its removal. So TikTok alerted law enforcement as they claim that they did. I'm probably sure they had to do that as well. But by that time, it was too late. And TikTok estimates, again, that broadcast lasted approximately 15 minutes. Clearly, we know that's not true. But that's what TikTok said in their statement. And Perez Hilton's account was initially deactivated and subsequently banned for violating the platform rules concerning self-harm content. Can you believe that? Is he going to be allowed to come back on that platform is my question. And I guarantee, I'm pretty sure not, but you know, TikTok, they just they've been allowing him to come up. When he came on TikTok, he was having issues with some of the top creators over there, and there were women. There were young women, right? Whoever, I don't even know the name of the person. He was harassing them. And, you know, he did that with the whole Britney Spears thing, guys, and all of this stuff, right? And, but here's the thing, though. You know, that's up to TikTok to decide what the hell they're going to want to do. And what did Perez do? He did some vile, disgusting, evil act last night. He was on his live stream, nude, carving himself, you know, and yeah, I mean, he did that for the world to see. A lot of the stuff he was saying was vile and disgusting. It's clearly that of what Perez Hilton is. And how's it tied to the Gypverse? Well, they platformed him. They gave him the opportunity to reach thousands of people, didn't they? Yet where are they? They're more excited about these prison phone calls that came out about Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Shows you the hypocrisy in those people that propped him up and gave him a platform and life on social media. Thus, it reached thousands and thousands of people. And shame on them, all of them. And that is why you got to wake up, snap out of it, and realize that. King J coming in here. Salute Morbid and chat. We love King J, of course. We do. Somebody else was saying something prior to that. Let me see here. He was already banned numerous times as When X. Absolutely, we knew that. I'm not sure. When the Gypverse, the anti-gypsy community, propped him up and pretty much gave him life, he never got banned. He never got banned after that because his numbers were a lot. He was getting a lot more numbers. And so he wasn't getting caught for some reason. So he was able to keep that TikTok account in which he went ahead and did some very evil things that is unforgivable, by the way. And if you don't agree with that, well, children saw it. It's crazy. You could blame it on drugs or mental illness, but people with mental illness and on drugs, you don't see anyone else doing what he did on a weekly basis or a monthly basis. With all the people in this world, he's the only one that did what he did last night. So are you going to excuse it for this one person? The anti-gypsy people are. Let's see here. Okay, so I may have missed some comment over there. So that was a TikTok statement. And on Wednesday, today in the afternoon-ish, let's see here, there's no additional condition update that's available. Even his management team really didn't have much to say as far as a statement, only to keep things private, right? Private. And let's see here. This is the latest confirmed status. As of now, Perez, clearly he survived this incident, which again, police described it as it wasn't even almost like an attempt. Actually, it wasn't. It was self-harm, not suicide. Because of the injuries were very. I don't want to say it was minor because clearly he had a lot of cuts, but still. Let's see, he was receiving medical care. He had been taken to the hospital under Florida's Baker's Act. We know that. There weren't really specified injuries, but again, like I mentioned to you, what the authorities released as far as, it being just self-harm. Let's see here. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that's interesting. His TikTok account has been banned. No confirmed. Again, what does that even mean? What does that even mean? Because they actually they banned him before, and they allowed him to have new accounts anyhow. And again, he shouldn't be allowed. And they'll say this, right? That other anti-gypsy side will say, well, what about gypsy? She shouldn't be allowed. Their argument is a little off there because it wasn't broadcasted live, this horrific thing. All right. This wasn't broadcasted live for thousands of people and children to witness. And the thing with the anti-gypsy people is they constantly are the ones who bring up this stuff, the vile sort of crime scene photos, and spread it like it's candy. I mean, how gross are they? Yet they're screaming, oh, justice for Dee Dee. They don't care about justice. They care about prison phone calls. They care about FOIA videos on Facebook back in the day. Those are the things that excite them. They care about this pretend podcast that is coming up, by the way. They're going to go crazy over that. They're so predictable in everything that they do. Whatever could feed their obsession, they care about. They don't care about justice, and they don't care about truth. And but they use that. They use that as a they're sort of guys to trying to be good people, but they're not. That's the problem. Yeah. Let me see. What else is there? What remains unknown? Let me see here. All right. These are some of the things that people had questions on. The exact time the live stream actually began. So there's an estimation, just from what I've seen, is like around 6:20-ish, maybe 6:30. Who knows? Who knows? Morbid, I look forward to your interview. Thank you, Princess Rose. I do have that interview. I may have to show it in Discord at some point here. It is going to drop August 11th. I did, so again, I don't think it's going to be a huge part of everything. I think he's going to compile everything, all the interviews. And of course, Princess Frog Case Studies over there had to contact Mr. Javier. Can you believe that? You know, he admitted that he had to contact him, send him all the bad stuff about Morbid. He even contacted him about Ken sending me super chats, guys. Can you believe that? What a baby bitch he is. To the point Javier had to reach out to me and say, hey, you know, some douchebag, Scotty Too Froggy reached out to me and asked if Ken is paying for you. Did Gypsy and Ken, are they paying for you? Loser. And you don't have to do much. I mean, Javier probably quickly found out that, Case Studies is a headache to deal with. The guy he acts like a girl when it comes to texting, emailing. He's very long-winded, and he says a lot, but he doesn't say anything at the same time, guys. I mean, unbelievable. Let's see, what other details do I have? Let's see here. A complete transcript of what Hilton said. So I guess there isn't a complete transcript yet. I'm sure that there is something out there. Nobody knows, or there's questions around what actually happened immediately before Perez went live. Probably, preparing to go live, cutting a little bit here and there. And, because he came on the live stream nude and bloody already. Whether a particular argument, personal event, substance, or medication contributed, these are stuff that is unknown. Of course, they don't know his precise intent during the self-harm. They don't even call it suicide at this point, or attempted suicide. They call it self-harm. And the full extent of his injuries. What Perez said to the deputies or crisis negotiators, if you didn't see, he was in probably right before the live actually ended. Perez was sitting or looking out the window at the police, and he's like, "Oh, the police are here. I hope they shoot me," or something like that. It's just so dumb. This guy is such an attention freak. People, unbelievable, man. And how could you do this to even your own children, to have this forever embedded in them growing up, And this is the guy who's going to call out Gypsy Rose Blanchard and expose the truth and all that while collecting money and all this stuff. And who platformed him? All the anti-Gypsy people did. The GRB snark should be ashamed of themselves for allowing this to happen, because they platformed him. They platformed him even in his the subreddit GRB Snark. They made him feel welcome and wanted to bring him. They didn't even care about his past or the type of person he is. And look at what happened here. Look at what happened here. And where are they? Nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found but to say, "Oh, prayers up for Perez." What about prayers up to all those children that had to sit there and scroll through that bullshit? What about all the people that were traumatized by having to see that live, that horrific, evil event? What about prayers for that? I mean, that's unbelievable. The society needs to change their way of thinking and really tackle these issues, but who platformed this monster? I'll say he's a monster. Who platformed him? Only a monster would do something as such. Again, this is not normal. For anyone to act like this is a normal event, it's not. Because when's the last time you've seen any of this sort of thing happen? It just hasn't happened. This happens from evil and a monster. And who created this monster, or who participated in it? Anti-gypsy creators. They did that. They propped him up when he was already down. He didn't have the audience, and then they gave him an instant audience of thousands of people to go ahead and do this too. And I'm sure you could bet it contributed to it, because Perez Hilton is all about the attention, and they gave that to him. Not only that, they gave him money. So they should feel shame right now. All those people in that GRB snark, that Reddit, the Gypsy Rose Reddit, should feel shame. All the creators should feel shame. Audrey the Gross, probably at the top of the list, should feel shame. I mean, go listen to that Perez Hilton live stream I did back in December right here on this channel. And go see for yourself what I was saying back then. And go see the comment section over there, what they're saying. Hell, I might even pull it up now. This is beyond the Gypverse. This is his karma from his blogger days, early 2000s. The Gypverse really isn't that popular. I agree with you there in the sense that this is from his old days and even new days. I mean, let's face it, the guy hasn't changed. Clearly, look at what he did yesterday. You think he changed? But all I'm saying is that he was platformed and propped up by the Gypverse. And it's true. You can't deny it. Because he again, was only averaging about 20 to 40 live viewers before the Gypverse propped him up and platformed him. And if he didn't have that, maybe it wouldn't. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, maybe he wouldn't have that reach on TikTok and feel that comfortable at that point, because he was dodging prior to the Gypverse propping him up and giving him numbers. He was dodging TikTok, creating almost monthly new TikTok accounts. And then all of a sudden, when he got the numbers, thanks to the Gypverse and the anti-gypsy people, his account was okay. Because maybe TikTok saw the numbers and said, all right, we're not going to do anything here. People did not have to watch Perez. They could have tuned out. You mean yesterday? Even if you watched it for 1 second right there, it was horrendous. Just evil. Evil written all over it. Legal Clarity Steph says sexual noises. Yeah, I mean, you heard that. I mean, he did Howard Stern a lot back in the day, mid 2010s, and he would make those noises. There was this bit that he did with this guy named Benji and all. Anyhow, yeah, he would make all those noises. He's just fucking freak, man. And again, I feel bad for his mom, really bad for his mom, that she has to put up with all his shit over the years, put that mom through fucking nightmares, and also his children. He shouldn't get custody of his children at this point, ever. I mean, how could you at this point? It's just crazy. And again, the serious issue is all the kids that were exposed to this, whether they accidentally stumbled upon it, or how kids are, even in middle school or elementary grade school, someone gets a hold of it somehow because it's the internet. Everybody pretty much had a hold of it. Someone's going to get a hold of it. Some kid, and it's going to be spreading around to other people like, hey, look at this. Didn't you see that as kids? Like when you're a little kid, people were, there was always some kid out there that has some porn or something, or, Like something, there's always a kid out there that had something bad to show all the other kids and taint them, you know? It's disgusting. It's vile. And what does the Gyp first do over there? Nothing, when they're the ones that propped up this idiot. And, you know, they were warned. They're always warned, though. These people never get it. These anti-gypsy people never get it because they're blinded by their hate bond. I don't understand it, but again, I do. And look, they come out of the woodworks for stupid shit like prison phone calls. That's what they care about. They don't care about anything else in life or in the world. They only care about prison phone calls or, you know, Facebook FOIA videos. That's all they fucking give a shit about. It's insane. You know? So that's how you know they don't care. They're all scammers and losers. Absolutely. All scammers and losers. I don't think Jessicos is going to make it tonight. You know, she probably got tied up. Possibly. Unless I ignored her in the back. I don't think so, though. That's my fault for not having, being properly prepared here. But that's okay. Let me see if that prison phone call thing is available. I don't think it is, actually. Yeah, so the link that I'm giving you guys for the prison phone calls is probably not going to be accessible right now. Oh, there's Just Ghost right there. Cool. Do you want to still come up or let me know. Here, I'll give you a StreamYard link. I was going to take a short break then. Let me get that ready for you if you want to. You don't have to. I don't want people feeling pressure to come up, especially when it gets late. Okay, I'll get that for you. Let me get a link for you here. I'll play you a little bit of the Pretend podcast while I'm going to go get me some more hot tea here. I'll give you a little taste of the Pretend podcast. Let me go ahead and drop the link over here. There's that link. Just sit back in the backstage right there. And we'll get Just Coast in here. Let me go ahead. Here's a little bit of a taste, guys. You ready?
Okay. Sir Morbid X.
Javier, how you doing? Nice to meet you, by the way. Is my audio coming through okay? The microphone's all right?
Man. Sounds great.
Fantastic.
Sounds great. Yeah, you should hear some of the shit that I record with. Like, sometimes I just surprise people and they sound
yeah, let's just talk about our equipment, you know, our audio, our sound equipment here. So.
How's it going, man? Hey, so I have to admit, I've only watched a little bit of your stuff, but your name kept popping up over and over again, and people kept saying, hey, you got to talk to Sir Morbid X. And I was just interviewing somebody, and it naturally came up. I'm like, yeah, I'm talking to him in an hour. So it's cool. So how'd you get into this whole Gypsy Rose world?
All right. So this was back early when Gypsy was released from prison. So what was that, like 2 years ago or something like that, right? A little over. So
yeah, about 2 years ago.
I think a few creators were already covering it, and I kind of came a little late to the party. Maybe I was like a couple months after, a month or two after she got released, and then I joined. It was still a new community at that time. So that's about the time that I started jumping in and doing I did live streams right away.
And, you know, that was a very unique time because when she came out of prison, it was just
so exciting. So exciting. Well, there it is right there. Javier's a good guy. Into the Weeds says, Into the Weeds, did you get interviewed too? I think you did. I think he said, you said it or he said it. I don't remember who told me that. All right, there's the StreamYard link there. And Javier is wearing purple for Morbid. I didn't even notice that. Hey, that is so true, actually. Look at that. Look at that right there. Look at that. Look at that. Very excited to see me, you know. He's excited to see the skeleton goat, guys. Greatest of all time. Keep it going. It's coming out soon. It's coming out in 6 days, guys. 6 days over there. Should be fun. I actually invited him for an exclusive interview. I want to interview Javier. I'm sure those anti-gyp dips over there didn't ask him to be interviewed, you know, because I want to know some of the inner workings of this little podcast series that he's putting together, and you know, get his sort of thoughts on it, you know, in a fair way, where he doesn't feel pressured and into being convinced of something otherwise. But anyhow, did I put the actual StreamYard link for Just Coast? I'm going to pin it actually, so I don't have to replace pin message. There we go. Do we have a poll before? Probably not. All right, cool. So I got those things covered right there. Yeah, so I asked him, I said, Javier, I would like to interview you. It'd be fun. It'd be fun, you know. Let's get his perspective on you know, all the interviews that he did and what did he learn or what he wants to share with us, you know, give him a chance to just have a decent conversation with a level-headed individual like myself. Let's see. FYI, D&D isn't over. Oh, okay. Okay, so Into the Weeds is saying that the prison phone calls are not going to be accessible yet until her son stops playing video games. All right, so there it is. I thought I removed that pin. Let me see here. I have to repin it, guys. I did also extend an invite for Karma Collector to have a discussion with myself, clearly, but mainly for Karma Collector to face Ken one-on-one in a very, very cordial fashion, I said. So we kind of connected there. I sent him that message over via TikTok. So we shall see. We shall see. I think Karma Collector is a fan of ours, guys. He likes it. He likes our case studies content over here. I don't blame him. We have the top case studies content available. So we like that. Make sure you guys check out I'm Just Peachy's channel, guys. She's killing it, living the 5-star lifestyle on her channel over there. And I'll go ahead and hook you up with her link. Peachy there. Link should be there. Should I fast forward it here? It was actually very well put together, by the way.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yeah, that's me kissing his ass. Guys, I'm kissing his ass. No, I did. I praised him for his little official trailer thing. I said it was great, man. It's great. And he got all the anti-gypsy people's panties in a bunch. I mean, how great is that? I mean, he loves seeing it. Let me get rid of that. Let me get rid of that. Yeah, let me get rid of that. And this is what I get for not preparing anything. It's my fault. I should have prepared. Yeah, it's all right. I got to stop talking like that, somebody was saying. What were some of the other things? So I dismissed that. I don't need this anymore. Let me get rid of this. I'm going to start cleaning stuff. Oh, I did hear a noise. I did hear a noise here. Hold on one second. I heard the noise. I heard the noise. I need to get this ready. And I will be adding that. So where'd that go there? Where in the freak? Hold on one second there. Hold on one second. I am trying to look for the actual. Hold on one second. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, there it is. Perfect. So we're here, and then we're here. That is just, that is you. That can you hear me? Okay.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I could hear you. Is it hot there? Because you have your fan, you got your human fan.
I'm hot because I forgot that I had taken apart all my recording equipment. It was all spread around my house. I was like putting it all together right now.
Oh, okay. I hope you didn't have to rush in here. I don't like people feeling
No, I wasn't
pressured.
rushing, obviously.
How's it
So
going?
I actually missed the whole first. It's good. It's good. I missed the whole first part of the show. So
Wait, hold on one second.
Really talked about.
Is her audio feedback, you guys? Let me see here. Let me see what I could do with that. I'm sorry, guys.
Hang on, let me go turn. I have the living room.
Okay. Was it? It was robotic. Robotic. Interesting. Her audio. It could be something that I have to do on my end here, because sometimes it does that, and sometimes it doesn't. Well, we won't know until she's coming back here. Audio is bad, so maybe she'll have to jump out and come back in. We'll see. We'll see. The sound is, we get it. All right, so say something again. Oh, she can't hear me yet.
Is it me?
Okay, say something. Hi, how are you doing?
Hi, good.
How's our audio now, guys? Let me know in chat.
Testing.
Still bad. She seemed just that.
On my part?
Oh, robot-y. All right, how about this?
Want me to disconnect and reconnect?
Yeah, reconnect. And I'm going to
Sure.
do the same thing just to refresh it. So let me get out of here, guys, and I'm going to come back. Yeah, let me do that. I'll be right back here. And let me reconnect here. Hopefully it works. All right. And then do the audio. The audio. Okay. And we'll go to 165 there. Enter the audio there. I'm going to enter in here. And then I'm going to have the StreamYard up here. And I have to see where it is. I don't see. Okay, there it is right there. I think that's it. One second. Okay, there's that. And let's see if I bring her in here and she's going to be able to hear. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Is she audio? Is she robotic again? Say something. Say,
Hi, my robotic.
how's that, guys? I hear it very clearly. I'm very surprised that they won't be able to hear you clearly. It's good now.
So does that mean we should?
Is it good now? It's good now. She's good now. You're good.
Good.
Welcome. Well,
Hi.
this was like a spontaneous thing, guys, because I've been lagging on trying to get some sort of format here. There she is right there, by the way. And but you're here. So good to have you here.
Thank you. So I was saying I didn't hear most of the show. I just literally tuned in maybe like 15 minutes ago.
I was talking up a storm, trying to waste time. My brain is fried, but essentially talked about the Perez Hilton situation. But before we get into that, I should probably properly introduce you to people that may not know you. So this is Jess Coast. You have a YouTube channel here. How long have you had a YouTube channel?
Since October.
Since October. Okay, so almost a year now. And so Wow, you've only been a YouTuber for that short period of time?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, but you were into other stuff prior, like music, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I should have started a new channel when I started making videos, because the channel I use I've had for like 13 years. But yeah, I used to be a music producer, like real music, not AI music. And I was just gonna fully get into music, and then I just thought I had nothing else to do, so I might as well do YouTube videos because I really like it. I
Okay.
thought I did.
And then, so when you first came to YouTube, what did you actually what did you make as far as videos? Like what kind
I
of
just
content?
did reaction videos to true crime. So I would just watch random. It started out serious. I really like doing like serious true crime, but um, then I went into like funny body cams, and it just wasn't really. I wasn't feeling it. I just wasn't. I wasn't connecting with it. It felt like I was just doing it just to do it. And then Kyla came out with a video about the FOIA document videos for Gypsy, and I was like, I'm gonna make a video about that, which whether or not that was a good idea, here I
Yeah,
am.
I remember her. Yeah.
Hmm.
So essentially, were you doing like comedic sort of takes on
I
police
wasn't
cam
really doing
videos?
anything. No, I
No.
just was and I think that's why I wasn't really into it, because like I thought I would be funnier than I was, but really there's not much to say for body cam. It's not it can be they can be funny, but at the same time they're kind of not, you know? It's like real life true crime, so
Yeah,
I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it.
I kind of walked that line, with true crime as well, because I started in 2019, and that was with the Chris Watts case, and somehow I always try to put in or include some sort of comedy, which was a little weird, like true crime and comedy, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of like my sense of humor, though. But
Right, and I don't think a lot of people have maybe quite as dark of a sense of humor as I do. Everyone's just so sensitive, you know? It's
yeah,
just hard to really just, you know, you know,
so
give it a year.
so through is it Kyla or Kylu?
Kyla.
Kyla. So through
Mm-hmm.
her, you saw the Gypsy Rose stuff. And when was that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, when did you start seeing
December.
that? This past December.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's when you decided, hey, I want to make some videos on Gypsy. And
Yeah, because she was one of the first people to put a video out about it. And so I like immediately went on YouTube trying to see like how many people had posted videos about it, and no one else had. I mean, obviously Into the Weeds, because that's where she got it from. So she'd posted her video. She had gotten it directly from Into the Weeds. And then that was actually the night, so because I wanted to like refresh all of my knowledge about Gypsy Rose before I made my first Gypsy Rose video. It wasn't just going to be a reaction to those, FOIA videos. I wanted to make sure I had my information fresh. And so that was actually the first time I ever saw Becca Scoops, because when I was, I watched all the old documentaries, and then I was like trying to find every single thing I could about it. And I turned on a Becca Scoops video, and I was like, ugh. After like 4 minutes, I was like, I can't listen to this lady.
was it the Cop Spills Hot Tea videos, or were they like videos that were more current during that time?
Is that Becca Scoops?
Cop Spills Hot Tea? Yeah, that's Becca Scoops.
Oh, no. It was a Becca Scoops, like Gypsy Rose documentary type thing. Like it was a long video.
Yeah,
I remember.
all of ours are.
Yeah, and I was just like, okay, cool. I mean, I've never heard of this chick, but it's I'll give it a whirl, even though I was pretty much caught up by that point. And after just a couple minutes, I was like, ugh, I gotta turn this lady off. Well, first, you know how I feel about it. Just her face. I mean, just so many things. Like you can
So
I'm like an animal who can sense the evil.
yeah, so back in December when you decided to start covering Gypsy, did you know about the Gypsy Rose case, or
Well,
did
yeah,
you?
I mean, I'm old enough to know about when it really happened, when it happened in real life.
Yeah,
Plus, it happened around my daughter's birthday, and so like a lot of the dates within the case are like coincide with like dates in my real life, like my mom's birthday and my daughter's birthday. And so there's certain like significant moments that like kind of I feel like weird, oddly like connected to, besides a bunch of other things. But yeah, I've known about it for a long time. Like even when my daughter was really little, we used to joke around about her all the time. We used to make fun of her.
So you knew of her from the get-go, from the police
Oh yeah.
interrogation videos. You've seen those before in the past, years and years ago.
I had never seen anything. I had never seen, except for like whatever like Kyla put out, and then every once in a while something would come up on TikTok, like Conspiracy and Flawless Nina. I would see those two pop up a lot,
Okay.
but I never really watched it. I didn't care. I watched Kyla for all of the, daily gossip or whatever, like, social media gossip. And then she just always, poor girl, she was like rooting for Gypsy Rose, and I just kept thinking, girl.
And Kyla, she covers true crime, or does she cover like a lot of different things?
She covers like gossip, like social media, mostly social media stuff. So she covers like the daddy-daughter, couple or whatever, like anything that's like, she feels like we should really pay attention to on social media, like anything that's kind of a big deal or disturbing, disgusting, behavior.
And
I don't really know like what to consider her genre.
So the first video that you made on Gypsy Rose, do you remember? Or yeah, what was it?
Yeah.
What was it about?
So I remember I started out by saying like, where is that baby? Like, where is that baby? And I was just disgusted by her behavior. And then of course I had already made a bunch of music like for the video and I don't know. I'm just so weird and artsy fartsy about it. Like I don't feel like I'm very good at making videos. I just sort of I try to invoke emotion in people with my videos. Like I'm less about my things I have to say. I'm not very good with my words. I like to just evoke emotion. And so I made these really emotional music for it, but I just basically showed the main ones, like the one where she's on the couch talking about, giving up her daughter, to Nick. And then I think there was one more. And I was just it had actually literally triggered me like PTSD in me. I was having a really hard time with it. I was kind of having like a little minty bee, I called it in the video. Sometimes covering too much Gypsy back, it triggered me, or can trigger me. I'm pretty much done covering, stuff that I'm pretty much know everything now. So, but yeah, it would trigger my, just childhood trauma and stuff like that.
And fast forward to, I guess you did a Becca Scoops exposed video. What month was that when you created that?
I believe that was February.
Okay, so February, and I think you had a song about Becca Scoops.
Yeah, that one came out way later.
Okay.
When I had I was just refreshing everyone's, I don't know, just, I made it after she came out and her lips were all done. And her
yeah, it was like the lip
was
fillers and the Botox.
Yeah, she had all and I was like, oh my God. And so I made that song. But yeah.
By the way, you guys could hear her in the chat. I hope so. I hope the volume is okay. I'm pretty much monitoring it, but let me know if you need her volume a little bit louder. Essentially, we're just trying to get to know Jess Coast, because I did ask her if she wanted to partake in future live streams. I think it'd be interesting. This is the first time we've talked, so, I'm probably really awkward right now. Oh, she just bounced here. I'll probably have to bring her back in. Lost connection there. So just trying to, and it was like a spontaneous thing. It was like she was going to do a Perez Hilton. She was going to do something on Perez Hilton, but then we're going to talk about that. But yeah, we lost you there for a second here.
Sorry, I accidentally closed out my browser.
Oh, you did? Oh.
Yeah. It was me.
Well, we got you back here. So you did the Becca Scoops back in February. What made you decide to do that, especially during that time?
Um, I couldn't. So, when you're covering Gypsy Rose or when you're covering a certain topic, like it's smart of you as a content creator to, for me at least, I don't know, this is what I do is I make sure that like if I'm going to be coming out with a video, I want to make sure I'm not coming out with something that everyone else has already covered. So I like to watch what other people who are, who we share an audience. So I always just I like to watch her. Plus, like I did not like her already from the gate, and people in my audience were like, "Oh my God, you should like do some editing for Becca Scoops and everything," which I did offer to do her editing. So like I was like, "Oh, really?" Like I didn't say that to the people who were like rooting her on, but I was like, I just thought, okay, well, I guess I'll give her a chance since all these people like her for some reason. I guess I'll see what I'm missing. And
Okay,
so I
the
watched.
chat's being funny because I think the one time you came up on panel, I think you mentioned my merchandise thing, the website that I use or whatnot.
Oh, I said you had a good website. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, I think you said something because they never let this go. They go, what did you guys say about the IP address? Did you say something about my IP address or something?
Oh yeah, no, I said you have like a good. It's like
Security
It's
or
really
something.
secure.
Yeah, like it's secure.
really secure.
They're busting your
Yeah.
balls over that. Some people.
Oh, they are. Nice.
Yeah, because might as well
Nice.
address it now. But
By the way, I'm wearing my shirt where I'm standing in front of Audrey's mom's house after I burnt it down.
oh really? Is that really?
Yeah, that's me standing in front
How
of
did
Nora's
you
house.
get that? Is that really you?
Just ordered it on Team.
Oh, okay.
It's just Barbie. It's this.
Oh man.
But that's why I ordered it.
That's very cool. So in February you decided to do that. So you were going to edit for her?
So I'd just been going to her channel and watching her lives because like people in my audience were rooting, were fans of her, and I thought I'd just give her, I'll give her a chance. And every time I would watch her, I would just see more and more of the reasons why I didn't like her, and I was just thinking to myself, just watching more, the more I watched her and the more I watched her take advantage of her audience, the more it bothered me. And it bothered me so badly that I couldn't even, like, it was bothering me in my real life. So like I couldn't, and because I really care about people, I really do. I really care about people, and I don't like watching people take advantage of innocent people. All these people are her fans, and she's literally sitting there just bullshitting them, and I can see right through her. And she is everything we know she is. And so I just saw it and it ate me alive. And so I had to make a video about it. And I thought, this is probably not a good idea because I just came out, started making videos, but I didn't care. I had to say something. And I really didn't even say exactly how I felt in my first video. And plus my audio was all messed up. So it was what it was, but I was trying to get out the point of like, yeah, she's not a good person. She's a hypocrite. You can see right through her, and yeah, it ate me up. Like after I posted the first video about her, I literally felt like a ton of weight lifted off my shoulders, and I felt so like I think I slept for like 24 hours after that because it was really weighing that heavily on me.
So so when you started Gypsy Rose back in December, and then December, January, February, so during that time when you made Gypsy Rose before you did your video on Becca Scoops, what was the reaction like as far as the viewers? How did they? Number one, were there a lot of people interested in what you're doing?
Sorry.
Were there a lot of viewers interested? Like, did you get a lot of views at that time, like early on from December to February?
That
Covering
video got
Gypsy?
quite a lot of views, more than I was getting. I really don't get that many views in general. Like it just depends. Like my highest, video has like 80,000, and then like my most recent videos have like 200. So,
Yeah,
I
it's an algorithm thing. Yeah.
Well, and it's not about Gypsy Rose, my last two videos.
Yeah, that's why,
So,
yeah.
which sucks. Yeah. But at the time, it got a lot of views. And I think it's because Becca Scoops has a big audience. And, and I had a really good thumbnail, to be honest. And I didn't feel that much hate actually from it. But people were like, just be nice to Becca. Like the most comments, that I would get would be like, be nice to Becca Scoops. Don't be mean to Becca Scoops. And I'm like, I'm not being mean. I'm not a mean person. I'm not being mean. I'm just being honest. If that's being mean, that's your problem. Like, I'm just being honest.
So
And,
so after you dropped the Becca Scoops video, did you notice that the comments were really bad?
No, not at all.
weren't.
They weren't that bad. They weren't
So-
that bad. Not like when I posted the Audrey video. I have never seen so much hate in my life
Wow,
as when I made that Audrey.
they weren't mad that you're were you not being that mean towards Becca Scoops? Were you not like
wasn't
being too aggressive with your
mm-mm.
expose?
No, I tried not to be. Yeah, I tried to be very neutral, and I think the problem was like, so I had like ChatGPT help me with the script, but I like to write most of the script, and so sometimes I get in these like arguments with ChatGPT, and then I'll end up like I'll want it to be a certain way, and so I'll end up with like 3 scripts, and so I end up like putting them all together, and then but they're like the same script, and so I was repeating a lot of the same things over again. So I really like I wasn't able to get the message out as clearly as I was trying to be really diplomatic about it, to be honest. I was trying to be neutral, but when I went into the part where I was showing the receipts of what I was trying to give examples of, then there was no script. I was just saying it like it is, but
So then
there wasn't that much hate.
you did the Becca Scoops music thing, the Botox fillers or whatever the filler.
Yeah, people didn't like that.
Okay,
I didn't get a good
you got
reaction
hate
to
for
that.
then.
I don't think I got hate. It's just people were just like, well, there's always, a couple of people who will like unsub or whatever from me, but I don't ever notice the numbers go down. Actually, whenever people say they're unsubbing, my numbers always go up. So I don't know what's going on with that, but yeah, most people were like, leave her alone. Why are you so mean? Oh yeah, like you're no better than she is, kind of shit. When really, if you listen to the words, like she is exactly what I say in that song,
And then, which brings us to Audrey, and like I think it was at the same time when you made the video and I was doing live stream simultaneously, about the fire incident with the GoFundMe, and so you decided to do an expose video on her as well.
Yeah, well, I had already been you might have come out with the video first about it, but sometimes I don't always like listen, like to everything, like all the details. Like sometimes I try not to absorb everything I'm hearing, but I think it was because of probably one of your lives that I was thinking about it or whatever, and you were just saying like, I mean, that's just a lot of money, and so I just decided to look into it. Why is this person who shows receipts for a living not showing any receipts? You're lying. It's a big red flag, period. That's it. I want to know the truth. Like, and so I'm going to call her out. I did not expect as much hate as I got though. So much hate.
So that was a huge hit. Then.
So much hate. So much hate. Like, I mean, more hate. Obviously, I see people be rude and crazy on the internet all the time, but I had never seen. I was not expecting that. I was expecting it to be like how it was with Becca Scoops, just like half and half, because most of the people in my comment section for Becca Scoops came back later after I did the second Becca Scoops expose with all the details and all the receipts after you came out with them. And they were like, thank you so much for like opening my eyes, and I always appreciate that. And as a matter of fact, with the first Becca Scoops video, I didn't tell anyone this at the time, but since then, all these people have come out and told how they feel about Becca, so I don't feel bad about it. But a lot of people, like bigger creators, were DMing me behind the scenes saying, hey, I don't want to say anything on camera or whatever, but I really appreciate you making that video because, we've been thinking the same thing. Thank you for saying what we've all been feeling for a long time. And so that felt good, but yeah. I didn't get that with Audrey.
I think, I don't want to say I was the quite opposite, but I got equal amount of criticism and hate from that anti-community when I was covering Becca, and which was first. And then I covered, I believe, gosh, I don't even remember who it was after. Could it be case studies? And then also Audrey. So it was all the same. I mean, it was all the same. But I think maybe because I'm a guy and people are a little bit afraid of leaving a message, but they still did though. So I could,
Oh, like I'm an easier target, or I'm easier to
yeah, I think with women,
bash on.
and especially like with Toddy, and I feel like they've received like Bree and Sheena, but Bree, they've received a lot of threatening messages, emails. I've never received.
Toddy
that
made a
level.
video about me after I made my first Becca Scoops video. She went on live and did a whole video talking shit about me the whole time. And I don't even know her. I have no idea who she was. And so, you know, and I never said
'cause
anything.
She was really close with Becca at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I, of course, like, you know, when I made my second Becca Scoops video after I learned about like what Becca had put her through, I felt so bad for her, you know. And I just say like I don't ever use the fact that she talked shit about me against her. You know, I felt bad for her.
You know, I don't
made
think
my second video.
Okay, so it's kind of like, okay, so your position and my position of kind of being on, I don't want to say sides, but like calling out some of their beloved creators in that anti-gypsy side. We know that that's going to be, there's going to be some sort of backlash where people are going to unsub, people are not going to like you, people are going to talk a lot. You had to know that because you know you're going against the grain of your content.
Oh, I knew people weren't going to like it. I said it in my first Becca Scoops video. I said, people aren't going to like this. I said it right at the end of the video. I was like talking to myself. I'm like, people aren't going to like this. But I knew they weren't, but I don't care. I see it how I see it, and I'm going to call it how I see it because I know what I'm seeing is not wrong. I'm not, my eyes are not deceiving me. My ears are not deceiving me. I mean, I watch her content specifically because I'm, you know, another content creator and I'm either trying to learn something or I'm just trying to see what's fresh that, you know, is coming out about Gypsy Rose. Sometimes I have to learn it from other content creators. You know, I don't just know everything. And I was just like, God, Lee, this lady.
Yeah, I felt the same way. But, you know, because I had a personal, well, should I say I had a personal relationship to some degree for a year and a half. You know, like we texted, we called, we talked. So,
yeah,
you know, I helped her out during that time too. And so I think it took me a little bit longer to pull the trigger. Like when I left last year in August and I didn't return till like December, I did one live stream about Perez Hilton, which we'll get to in a moment here. Then in May is when I actually went and did the Becca Scoops little live exposés on her. And so, so it took me a long time actually to pull the trigger and to do it. Not because
and actually, when you made that when you came back and you did the Griff Train, right? That was the first video that you came back with that when you decided to come back. And, you know, when I made my first Becca Scoops video, I actually made a video about you because I thought that because I knew Becca and you were at that time, you know, that was the whole Perez Hilton thing. So I had made a video about that Perez Hilton video.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, and then I've taken it down since then because like I was really just trying to make Becca look bad because I was all anti-Becca then. And since then, because, you know, I didn't say anything in the video though. Like I didn't say I felt a certain way. I just played you and Audrey arguing and then some things that I had found online about like, you know, those allegations about your old content or whatever. And that's why I've taken it down because turns out all that stuff's a bunch of BS anyway. Plus I hate Audrey and you know what I mean?
Yeah, welcome to the party.
But
she's gross.
So then you disappeared and, you know, everyone, there was a lot of people like, you know, talking shit about you, no offense, in my comment section when I made that video. And I felt like, okay, because I don't like it when people in my comment section are like, oh my God, thank you so much for like making this person feel like that, you know, like in a negative way. And I'm like, that's not what I was trying to do. I'm not trying to make anyone feel a negative type of way ever, you know? And but then you disappeared. And I actually did really like your content. I did. But after I heard that argument with you and Audrey, I was like, there was something that triggered like PTSD in me about like the gaslighting that was going on. And so that's all I didn't like about it. And then you came back with the Griff Train. And because I liked your content so much, I was like, I'm going to watch it. I don't care. So I watched it, and every single thing that you said was exactly how I had been feeling about how there is no more justice for Dee Dee. What the hell else can we do for justice for Dee Dee? Like, there's nothing else. These people are out here, what is justice for Dee Dee? Like, we can't do, her own family members want to flush her ashes down the toilet. Like, what justice is left for her? We've done it all. Like, that's it. And everything you were saying, and so I agreed with everything you said, because I was thinking about coming out with, talking about how I felt about it, but I didn't feel comfortable at the time saying it because I know people are all weird about it. And then you came out and said it, and I was like, I'm so glad someone else said it first.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because like I knew what the outcome would be to like come out and do that so aggressively, because either I had to go and do it the way that I did it or don't do it at all. And so, or it wouldn't be effective. And like, I think a lot of people were kind of feeling that same way. They just weren't able to be, I guess, vocal about it,
Yeah, I think you're the only one who could come out and say it and have it be like tolerable, because anyone else saying it is just like, oh, you're disgusting. How could you not, that's, oh, you're so mean. And it's like, but really, no, it's just the facts. Like, what else can we do? There is no justice for Dee Dee. I'm sorry, but there isn't. I mean, I don't wish death upon her. She shouldn't be dead. I trust me, but there's nothing else we can do for the lady.
Yeah. I mean, so like some creators that, I don't talk about really because I don't see their character being as evil or fake. And like some of the ones that I've been going after, whether it's Becca Scoops, Audrey the Gross,
they kind of deserve it.
Yeah, case studies. And then there are others that don't come across my radar, but I know them from back in the day, and I know that they're good people and they're not really out there for.
Yeah, I think the ones that you like to go after and the ones I enjoy seeing, I like going after are the ones who have ill intentions. I don't like people who have ill intentions, or who are like looking you dead in your eyes or looking at the camera and just lying to you and can't be honest about anything. It's like, it just get out of here,
Yeah, and it's definitely like you want to lash out at some other people because they'll say, well, then you're a pro gypsy camp, right? Type deal. But then
there is no pro or anti though.
There are pro, like, FBI, like Bree.
No, I'm saying there are, but
yeah.
I don't feel like I am. I'm not. I don't wish hate upon Gypsy Rose. I don't hate Gypsy Rose. I'm out here for like truth. You know what I mean? I'm just here. I'm just here to hang out and
yeah.
and when we were writing each other earlier and I was saying like, oh, talking about Perez, and then I said something about, another point for Gypsy or whatever. It's because people want to hate on her so badly and talk about her behavior, but it's like, well, I mean, look at what other people are doing though. I mean, really, in the scheme of things, it's like,
yeah,
she's really not doing that.
The whole point for me is just to call out some of these scumbag characters that do stuff behind the scenes and are just fake and really out for the complete grift off this tragedy and milking it. And yeah, just those type of people. And so yeah, I guess I'll continue that in a sense. But let's get to the subject at hand here. Oh, by the way, people are still mentioning that too. So you made music on Winebox.
Yeah. So I did a video about Winebox Poppy a couple months ago or whatever, because I was, like I really didn't know what to make a video about. And then on the Gypsy Snark Reddit, which I was, kind of visiting quite often at that time, he was blowing up on there. I had no idea who he was. The Discord thing had just dropped, the leak, and so I was kind of going on the Reddit Snark page to find out more information about it. I was really trying to find out who those people were that were in the audio Discord recording. And this Winebox Poppy name, I mean, I've never seen anything be more hyped up on the Reddit ever. And I was like, I'm making a video about it because I don't
Dorks.
know who he was, but he was just blowing up. And people were just like, oh my God, Winebox Pop, you got his channel back. Like they were so freaking excited about this guy. And I was like, I don't care who he is, I'm making a video about him. So I DM'd him on Instagram and I was like, hey, I'm gonna make a video about you just so you know. And he was like, yeah, fuck yeah. I'm like, I'm like, yeah. So then I made the music for the video. And when I made the music for the video, I ended up like making like 300 different versions, but I condensed it down to like 16 really good versions. And so I just sent him all of them because he asked if he could use some for his theme song for his show, for his channel. And I was like, yeah, of course. And so he plays like all of them like
Oh, so
on
there's
loop
many.
during his
There's
lives.
many like different
There's
songs.
16 of them. Yeah. There's the whole list is on I have the whole thing in one video
What
on
a
my channel.
dork you are, Mark. So,
Oh,
so
but
you're
yeah, but
friendly
he
with him.
well, he was very, very nice. Very nice. Like I wasn't expecting him to be as nice as he was in the DMs because, you know, we see how he behaves on his channel. Like he speaks, like, I mean, the things he says are just, that's not my style. I don't like hearing people talk like that. People telling people to take their own lives and calling them like the C word. That's not my style. So whatever, I just was making the video about him, you know, pretending like I was trying to hype him up, but I really didn't care. And then after I made the video, so in the video, I said that I did this whole, like most of the video actually was a speech to Gypsy Rose and then me trying to explain to Winebox that like it couldn't be Gypsy Rose that got your channel taken down. It has to be YouTube. Like no matter how many people like flag or, you know, report your content, it doesn't matter. They cannot get your channel taken down. It has to be reviewed by YouTube and then YouTube decides whether or not it's worthy of being up, you know? I can't even believe his channel was up for as long as it was with him talking like that anyway. But so, but in the video, I said that I had just gotten done reading Gypsy's first book and that I was getting ready to read her other book to my audience. I said it in the Winebox video, okay? And so then after the video was released, he was like, let's do a show together. Let's do a collab. He's like, we should do a live show like once a week. Like he wanted to do like a whole, and like, mind you, I don't even know this person. Like, I don't know if that's going to be good for me or bad for me. You know, like he was very nice. And I was like, okay, cool. Yeah. Like we could do that. And then, you know, I'm not very good with coming up with ideas, but I said something about like, we could do a live show every week reviewing, Fruit Love Island, the cartoon.
What the hell's that?
Because
Fruit
I couldn't
Love?
think of anything else to do with him because I didn't want him to like talk the way he did, you know? And he just ignored it. And then, oh no, I suggested that we do a live show every week because I had never gone live before at that point. And so I wanted to practice. And I thought, okay, how about this? I'll do one live with him. I'll practice going live so I can get that like, you know, out of the way and, you know, off my chest or whatever. And then I'll see like how it is working with him at the same time. Like it just, you know, kill all these birds with one stone. And he was like, oh, I don't do lives. He's like, I don't do live streams. And I was like, oh. And I'm thinking to myself, that's weird. He was like, yeah, I don't do live streams. They don't do well on my channel. And then the next thing I know, like the next day, he was like making a video talking about how he's going to start going live every Monday reading Gypsy Rose's book. And I was like, oh, okay.
I mean, that horrendous. I mean, his live streams are so boring. I mean, what the hell are you doing, Mark?
It's unbearable to listen to him try to read. But at the same time, I was like, it bothered me so badly because I was like, oh, okay. So you don't go live. Oh, okay. So then I didn't say anything to him because I was like, you know what, Jesse? Like, just blow this off. Who cares? Fuck him. Who cares who he is or what he says, or the fact that you said that's what you were going to do was read Gypsy's book. You know, like, it doesn't matter. A billion people out there have probably read Gypsy's, like, just let it go. But it really bothered me because I felt so disrespected because he didn't even like mention to anyone in his audience about the video that I made. Like, he didn't even say like to go watch it or anything. And like, I spent a lot of time on it. Like, I always work really hard on my videos, and it just I felt like he didn't appreciate it. and he, like, I had to say something to him just to get him to mention my name about the music, because everyone's like, oh, like, we love this song, we love this music, and he was like, oh, it's by he had to like look my name up, like, which whatever.
Oh wow.
But I thought, why'd you just tell me that you don't do live streams and then you start going live every Monday and then you're doing this thing? So I finally, eventually, after a week, it was bothering me, and I DM'd him and I was like, I'm like, did you even watch the video I made? And he's like, yeah, I told you I did. And I was like, oh, okay, just making sure.
So initially he asked you to do lives with him or a video.
Well, he asked me to do a video. He wanted me to do a video
Wow.
with him every week. Yeah. And I suggested a
Weirdo.
live stream because I had never done one, and I wanted to practice doing a live.
Oh,
And he was like,
and
oh,
then
I don't
he's
do
like,
those.
"I don't
Like,
do that."
immediately was like, I don't do those. Yeah.
While
They're not good for
he's
my
on
channel.
live every week now, right? And then
Yeah.
he's on
And then the
every
next day,
panel you get on.
literally, yes, the next day came out and said, I'm going to be going live every Monday. I was like, oh, rude.
Yeah, all these fakes, I'm telling you. They just want part. I mean, the guy clearly doesn't care about DD or anything. This guy's just a
Oh,
loser.
no, he doesn't care. He doesn't care about anything but
He
himself, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. Yeah.
Um,
So it didn't. So I was just like, whatever, bro. So it just seemed like it was just all kind of rude and disrespectful. And so that by asking him if he watched my video, I was like, basically saying like, you did see the part where I just said like, that's what I was going to be doing next, was reading her book. I just felt like he was just kind of like, it was so like a double whammy rude, but I don't know if he was intentionally trying to be double whammy rude, except for the fact that he just literally told me he doesn't do live streams. So that was it.
So let's talk about now. So we kind of got to know you some here. So a little bit of background. It's always good. I didn't really know much about you too much background wise. I probably still don't, but I'm sure we'll have time to do that. But Perez Hilton, last night,
Yep.
when did you get notice that something was going on over there on the TikTok?
What you mean about like what happened last night?
Yeah, like when did you hear wind of or news
About
of it?
I
What was
think
going on?
about this morning. This morning when I woke up, I think. Well, I mean, I probably woke up in the afternoon, but when I woke up today,
How did you come across it? Like, what happened?
I always watch YouTube, and Penguin, Zio, Charlie
Oh, okay, yeah.
posted a
Big
video
YouTuber.
about it. So it was probably like this afternoon. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
And I just flipped on it because my like the videos that YouTube suggests for me are so out of whack. I don't know what's wrong with the algorithm for me. Like even when you're live, like I have notifications set for you, and I obviously watch all of your live streams. It will never even tell, like, you will be on live and I will be trying to find something to watch on YouTube, and it won't even tell me that you're live sometimes.
yeah,
So,
it's broken.
yeah.
It's been like that for a long time, but
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I
it's just
saw him
weird.
put out a video that says the Perez Hilton thing's awful, and I immediately thought of you, and I thought, oh, what's he gonna say? And then I couldn't believe that's what he said.
were you able to see any of the videos? that
So I
he
went
did?
on, yeah. So then I went on TikTok, and I think they'd already taken most of them down. What I'd sent you, I don't know if you saw it, but I'd put some clips together. That was all that I could find. That's all that I.
So you didn't actually see the live like clips of it.
No, like just the little snippets that they
They
still
had
have
clipped up. That was like censored,
Mhm.
heavily censored. Okay.
Yeah, you could see him, but yeah, it was just like his waist up, and like you could see a little bit. I mean, it's disturbing. I didn't know he had kids until Candace Owens was talking about it earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, he has 3 kids. I think they're what are they?
13, 11, and 9.
13, 11, and 9.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
A boy and 2 girls.
I believe. Yeah.
Yep. That's
So-
wild to me.
Did you see any photos that were not censored? Did you come across
No.
anything?
Did you?
Of course. Yeah, I saw videos that weren't censored. So it was
Mm.
all over X last night. And
Oh, okay.
so you don't know how grotesque it was and evil.
I mean, I just completely covered from blood, from head to toe in blood. I mean, obviously, my theory on it is like he was obviously going through like an overwhelming, like an onset like ego death that he cannot control. He probably lives with so much guilt because of all the shit things he's done. And he's not a good person. He has not been a good person. He's chosen to be a bad person. And I think that his conscience was trying to go through an ego death, and it was too onset for him, and he's just when he came out with that video crying and talking about the Bible a few months ago or whenever the hell that was, I knew something was wrong. I'm sorry, but whenever people are starting to do stuff like that and talk about God and all this, there's something wrong with them. And obviously there was something wrong with him.
When I saw that video of him with the Bible and saying, this is the most beautiful thing. And
ridiculous.
It just came off as fake to me. I mean, I was like, oh boy, he's at it again. I mean, this is kind of like what
it did come off fake.
Yeah,
it did come off partially. There's just something wrong with the dude. Like, he's out of his mind. And I think that's the thing with Perez Hilton too. It's always like, what's real and what isn't. And of course, we can say that about everything on social media. But with him, like, he's just so. I think it's just because he has ill intentions as a human, you know.
So you didn't get the full impact of how horrible this was.
No,
it was probably.
I can imagine though.
It was probably so. This was about 30. Maybe average 36 minutes long TikTok live.
Oh my God.
And he came out of the gates nude and cut up already, bloody. And then he proceeded to do it more. So he had a maybe a serrated knife. It didn't look like one. It looked like a flat, dull knife. And but he definitely did. He touched his skin to get like some cut marks for sure as he was doing it live. But I mean, I've known instances of cutters who did that to their stomach and their wrists, and it was mainly to relieve some of the anxieties that they're feeling. And it feels, to their explanation, it sounded like it feels good for the moment, temporarily. There's
gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, temporary release. And so, yeah, the video was very telling if you didn't see it, but you know, again, don't recommend it clearly, but for the graphic nature of it. And even the audio too.
The audio was just as disturbing. The audio, there was some audio that they were playing, and it was like, ugh, I'm not into that.
Were there some things that stood out to you when you're listening back to the audio? Did you hear?
Yeah, they were like sexual.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were like sexual and like, you know, because the parts where he was talking about how he was going to end his own life sounded fake to me, kind of like it was obviously a cry for attention. I think that he's really going through it because like I think he's literally experiencing ego death. So he's trying his conscience is trying to free himself of all of the guilt because it's literally killing him. I think the anxiety of living with that much guilt for all the things that he's done is killing him, and he's not knowing how to process it. So he thinks that this whole God thing is the way to go, because I think he's having a hard time either accepting what he's done or the trauma. He's not being upfront about something. There's something worse than he did, I think, than what he's saying, than what we know. I mean, I think that he's done worse. And I think that that's why he's really spiraling. Yeah. And why I got to this point, because this is a whole different kind of show. This is not just like, I mean, this is almost kind of unheard of, but it's a lot of, I want attention. I'm, desperate for attention, but I want you to see how much pain I'm in, but I'm also not like, it's just a different kind of demon.
Yeah. I mean, after reviewing the videos very hearing the stuff, it was almost like he was very casual about it and very much himself, in the sense of how he was starting to add people to the panel on his TikTok live. And he would just be like, "What's up, motherfuckers?" And I'm just here trying to kill myself or commit suicide. Yeah. So it's very casual, nonchalant, sort of like weird in that sense. And yeah, I just feel like the choice of doing that was, I mean, again, if you actually saw it, you would sense this evil in this person. And like, it's almost like shame on him. He put his mom through this. Now he's putting his children through this. And then also on top of that, the scrolling of, children scrolling through that and just kind of like falling on it somehow. And I'm sure
Well, you
that
know, like
a lot of people are
that one
traumatized
kid's
by
gonna
it.
get a hold of it and like bring it to school and then show
Yeah, I
everybody.
was talking about that. Yeah, because like back in the day, when you're a kid, there's always kids out
It's
there
always
that
like that.
bring the
Look what I got.
crazy
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So that's definitely going to happen, especially with their smartphones or smart devices. It's going to be bad.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so you had another take. You had a take about Gypsy winning, possibly. Did you want to explain that further?
I was just saying,
into
like,
this?
I mean, there's not much, I really wasn't that deep. It was just kind of like, I had two immediate thoughts when it happened. I thought of you because I know you really expressed how you felt about him, back then trying to like tell everybody like it's not good to work with him. And then I immediately think of Gypsy because I think, I'm not sitting here saying like I want Gypsy to win. I'm saying it was a win for Gypsy because people want her to lose so badly. People want to hate on her and just like say that she's just this wretched person. But really, like if you like just break it down as to like what she's doing like on a daily basis, I think she's getting a lot better. And I think that, compared to any like other behavior online, like there's worse out there. I mean, so
Yeah, I mean it's
that's
kind of
just what I
hard to
mean.
explain it to people. Like when I
Yeah,
say
it is.
I'm done with the case, meaning I dropped everything, the whole Justice for Didi movement, like that was a thing back in the day when I actually was covering it for a year and a half or so early on, but then realized, oh, okay, there really is not going to be anything of significance here that's going to come about it. And people are more interested in the snark and all that, which is fine as long as they could admit to that. And, I think it was a struggle. I'm not her friend, Gypsy's friend, but it's like I could kind of separate the case from the human in a sense. And it is bizarre because I'm still human. So I'm like, wait a second. Like I still have those feelings that I've had in the past, but it's like, you have to like be able to not allow that to seep back in because you're like, well, you want to wish this person the best because justice for Didi would be justice for Aurora, her grandchild. And so you want to wish the best for Gypsy and Ken moving forward. So it's like, in that
They're
sense,
trying.
Yeah.
I still have weird thoughts about why Ken would seek her out in the first place, but I will always have weird thoughts about that. Like, I would love to interview Ken and ask him about, why he would really what I really want to know what would make him go after somebody who's in prison for killing their mom. I mean,
I think I may have a connection.
I don't know if I would get the answers that I'm looking for, but I would really just like to talk to him.
I think
he's
he's pretty honest about stuff, especially when it's directed. Like, I mean, just my experience with him, he's always been like upfront.
He seems like he wouldn't lie.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I just didn't really care about any of that kind of stuff. It was just more like focused on. Like, I feel like the anti-Gypsy community has really made it muddy, like made it messy as far as like to be able to easily consume what they're trying to preach. Like their message of like the truth that, like their message is really complicated.
They don't have a message. They have hate. They are disgusting. They are some of the most vile human beings on social media. I mean, I'm in several different communities. Like when I'm not like watching you, I'm watching like Candace Owens and Baron Coleman, and you don't see anything like that over it, where real adults hang out. Like you just don't. There's something wrong with some of those people.
Yeah.
Especially those on TikTok. I'm really concerned about that. And, but there's a whole concern that I have about just human beings in general with being desensitized about things and AI recreating humans so that we become desensitized to actually like, you know, when people die because, well, we can just recreate them with AI. Like, I have a whole thing that I, you know, worry about the future for the children and everything. But really, just when it comes to the anti-gypsy community, they are some of the worst humans. What is wrong with them? And that's why it's like, it wasn't hard for me to make the decision to like I don't care about coming out with videos about Becca Scoops and Audrey, because like, you know, these people, I don't care if any of those people follow me or sub to me or anything like that. I just don't. Gross. Bye.
Yeah. I mean, they are probably one of the most vile bunch that I've been a part of as far as community wise. There's a lot of bark to them, but no bite. But when they do bite, they bite like when it comes to like going real life on like companies that they try to attack or comment sections.
You know, Audrey invokes that kind of shit. Audrey instigates that. She specifically tells people to go do that. And I think that's fucked up. And I made a video about it one time, and I got all kinds of backlash for saying that I didn't like that, you know? Saying that, like, I thought it was wrong that people were contacting that company, that Gypsy was trying to do that dress. You know, she did that. She came out with that dress and was trying to, you know, whatever. That company was not sponsoring her, but whatever.
Yeah, I think they gave her a dress.
Trying to do something super innocent. And people were calling that company and harassing that company. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what are you doing? You do that? Like, no, we don't do that.
Yeah, I got interviewed from the Pretend podcast by the Javier guy, and I was telling him like, you know, you better watch out, because if you don't walk their fine line, you just go off course a little bit, just a tad, left, right. I mean, you're
he's gonna
get
regret
screwed
it.
and punked.
He's gonna regret making it. Yeah. Oh,
I think he already knows, because we already talked about it somewhat, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I know. I've been getting it. You know, I see it." And so like, so I think
maybe he's
he
not
does
so thin-skinned. Yeah.
Yeah, but
a couple of bigger creators have been coming out with videos about her randomly recently, and I always just put a comment in their page going, "Good luck with the comments." Like, you know, I just laugh because they don't realize what they've done. Like, they think that they're just making it because, like, oh, let's, you know, catch up on Gypsy Rose. No, I wouldn't. Just don't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see this sort of behavior, this very powerful mom mentality. It is effective when they go do the gang stalking type deal, you know, and you know, they convince
clinically
big creators like Chris Call Me It or some
Call Me Chris.
I mean, to get her to take down her video.
I know.
That could have gotten
poor girl
hundreds of thousands of views. She did it anyhow because she got bullied in her comment section.
That's what I'm saying. That's how bad it was when I did the Audrey video. I didn't know what to do. I was like, I don't want this kind of, you know, negativity on my page. So I like moved it to members only. And then and then Sheena was like, don't do that. She's like, fuck that. She's like, you can say what you got to say. And I was like, okay. And she kind of gave me a little backbone. So I put it public.
What were some of the things that stand out to you as far as what they said to you about, like,
honestly, I don't absorb
okay.
any of that into my mind. To tell you specifically, it was just one after another of like, I mean, well, first of all, I mean, I think almost every single person that subbed to me was like, I'm unsubbing from you. Like, I mean, everyone was saying they were unsubbing from me, but it was just basically like, people love Audrey, you know, or, you know, whatever. They think they love Audrey. I guess they love Audrey. And they were just saying like, how could you do this? This is none of your business. Like, just, I mean, I honestly don't even know. It's just hate after hate after hate. Because I really don't even read the whole message. I just see it and I'm just like, eh.
Yeah, I know how that feels. But
it was foul though. I mean, I felt it. I felt it a little bit.
What I do is like they try to come in my comment section. So I don't block them or anything. I just reply to them. Usually if they have a profile picture of themselves, I'll say, God, you're ugly. Look at that profile. What's happening in your face or something, you know, just a little comment there. And then I don't see them for a while or I don't see them at all ever again.
Depending on what they say, because if they sound real dumb with the, if they just their comment itself is just like illiterate, I will make a reply, and just like come back with them with something smart, and
Or I
just to
do
be
take
like,
a
what?
look at their little channel for a second. If they have a video up,
Sometimes.
I'll mention something in that video, just like scrolling through it, like, oh, okay, so you're into this. I see back in 20, and I say, I got you, I found you, and then all of a sudden they're not there anymore in the comment section the next day.
There was one time during the second Becca Scoops video that I made. I don't particularly like my voice, but it's the only one that I have, And one of the comments was, I didn't get very many bad comments in the second Becca video, but one comment was someone who said, you are worse than she is. You're just as bad, if not worse than she is. Your voice, what did he say? He was like, your voice is you sound so angry and this and that. And I'm thinking, well, I mean, clearly said the very first like sentence in the whole entire video was like, I'm going to be very angry in this video. Like this video, if you are a fan of Becca, you're not going to want to watch this. I'm going to talk about how much I hate her. I don't like her. She's a bitch. I prefaced the whole video by saying that. And so, whatever, it is what it is. I sound like I sound, but then like 7 people liked that comment and I was like, what? And so I was really bummed about it because I thought, oh, and then he was like, and you flick your tongue after everything you say. And I thought to myself, well, I can't do that because I'm tongue tied. So I literally can't do that.
Uh-huh.
And so I was like, what is he talking about? And why did 7 people like that? Because it's just not true what he's saying. Because then I text one of my little girlfriends and I was like, this guy said that I sound like, he hates my voice and I sound angry. And she was like, no, you don't. She's like, your voice is fine. And so I went on his page and he's blind.
Oh, he's blind.
And I was like, because I responded and I said some nasty shit, but I was like real clever and funny about it, just a straight smart ass. And so then when I went to his page and I saw he had like 7 people and it said I'm completely blind, I thought, oh no, he probably has a better sense of what people sound like than other people. But you know what? Like, what? How can you even watch the video then? You just listen to videos? That's weird. So I don't know if it was true that he was blind, but he says he was. And I thought, oh,
Yeah,
I
mean, people
started feeling
just say,
like maybe I do have an angry voice.
I mean, people just say the craziest thing to try to get a reaction from you. I mean, I use that
Totally.
same tactic as well. Sometimes, I do. But
Yeah, just like little trolls.
yeah, but I think, see, here's the thing. It was hard for me to find other creators out there that were willing to go against the majority, because that's pretty much the opposite you want to do as a content creator. Content creators are usually fake, and in order to get the views and to keep building on their channel. So like for you to do that move, and even for Fancy to do that move, and for not Brie or Sheena, because they've always been on that move. They've been on that sort of trajectory. But that's kind of odd because, well, it's unique in the sense that I knew that no one was going to come on board as far as creators who were going to do something similar, as far as, put themselves out there to get pretty much disliked by the entire community. But you decided to do that even before, and even now, like you're double downing, triple downing now, in the sense. I mean, is it just because you? Why?
It's just because I can't help it. It's because it's just naturally who I am. I really only feel like motivated to do things when I'm truly feeling them passionately. So as a person in real life, like I am the kind of person that like I just want what's fair, and I hate liars. I hate fake people. And I hate when I see other people take advantage of innocent people, especially people's money and things like that. I just hate liars and fake people. And I just, when I feel like a person, like, because there's obviously a lot of liars and fake people on social media, but when they are like disgusting, when their behavior's disgusting, when they're trying to make everyone like act like we're all stupid, and we're not stupid when there's just something obvious to call out. I just feel really passionately about it, and I'm just going to say something. And if something bothers me enough, I'm going to say something about it. And because I know at the age I'm at, I couldn't possibly be the only one who thinks the way that I think about things, or could, you know what I mean? Like sometimes I'm like trying to possibly just even check the people in reality, like the people online. Like, do none of y'all see this? Like, am I the only one? Because I don't think I'm wrong most of the time. And I'm glad that I got in touch with you and Fancy actually to be able to come out with the second Audrey video, because with all the receipts, because it's really put all the pieces together, and so I was glad that I was able to redeem myself, if you will, with the second Audrey video.
I think the first Audrey video, you didn't have the entire picture.
No, I thought Bonnie was her mom.
Yeah, and so even I didn't really until there was some more digging
because
going
it
on.
looks like Bonnie is her mom. If you look at her background, right? I mean, it's like you would never know that Nora is even related to her.
Yeah, and I think Audrey took exception to that. She was like, yeah, any victory for her, she's going to
Totally.
take advantage of. But she didn't realize that there was more digging to do. And it came out pretty quickly within a week, like all that stuff, the new information there. Let's see here. Someone was saying, Fancy was saying that the GoFundMe for Audrey is so fraudulent. And Fraudry told Reddit 1 year ago that she inherited $1 million. Is that what you were talking about, Fancy, earlier? That you had a new post on your YouTube community page. That's
She's
interesting.
always talking about money. That's all she cares about is money. She's always talking about money. She's always talking about like, oh, you're going to monetize off this and that. Like, girl, you are the only one thinking about money. I mean, it's all she talks about. She tries to like, say that she has all kinds of money all the time. I mean, and she does it all the time. It's not even just after this GoFundMe thing. She's constantly talking about money. Which tells me she probably doesn't have that much. I don't know, or that she's really concerned about it, because why does she talk about it so much?
Yeah, she's talked about money a lot. And so, yeah, there it is. Fancy is confirming that was the case there, that it's in her post. Let's see here. She thinks Reddit is her friend, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yeah, she's done a lot of stuff over there on Reddit that over the past year or so that people could start
Where's she
digging up
posting
on.
it?
She was posting it over on Reddit until she got banned. I think she got banned.
But I mean,
twice.
like on the Gypsy Rose Snark pages?
Yeah,
or?
initially she was on
Okay.
the GRB Snark page, and then she got banned over there. And then she went over to Shady Gypverse, and then ultimately got banned there before she started threatening them to dox all of them and get their identities. So
What do you say to get banned on Reddit? That's wild to me.
I think got banned from the subreddit itself because she was in there. You know what they do, like Case Studies got banned too because he started fighting with them, and like everything that was criticizing them took it to heart, and like just took it literally and just like went after them and just like harassing
People were
these
talking
people.
about them probably, and so then they had to open their flaps and talk shit.
Like I've had a lot of people in there, like, say a lot of bad things about me, but I never like interacted with them. Like I've always I read it and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I've heard that for years now, about me. So there's no difference.
Totally. I mean, it's all just going to go away in a couple of days anyway. It's like they think of it first. It comes out harsh when it comes out, but it literally, it goes away after like a week.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Fancy says she was harassing a different content creator, Alice. I think I know who you're talking about, Fancy. Someone, Alice, down the rabbit hole. Is that the person you're talking about, Fancy? I remember her covering Gypsy at one point. Maybe tied to Trixie Lane people. Maybe. You probably don't know those people.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I just
do?
recently saw a Trixie Lane video. I'd never, I just randomly came across it, and it was like all the old Facebook messages of Dee Dee from like her friends in high school. But then I heard you talking about her after that, and I was like, oh, that's weird that I just seen one of her videos, and you were saying how she like, or someone was saying how she makes everything up and it's all bullshit. And someone in her comments, she only had like 3 comments on the video, and one of them was like, quit making these videos, like none of this shit is true. And I was like, well, okay, I guess people don't like her.
Trixie Lane. I exposed her maybe a year and a half ago. It was a whole like catfishing sort of deal thing. With her profile picture, and then but ever since then, like I know she did some research, but I know a lot of it was heavily conspiracy theory based. And
I thought she was a friend of Dee Dee's from high school is what it appeared to be to me.
No,
I had no idea she was even like a content creator.
If my memory serves me correct, I think she had a story where she ran into Gypsy and Dee Dee and in the hospital, like the emergency room area, and
what?
She overheard Gypsy.
She had a dream.
Yeah, she overheard Gypsy threatening the nurse guy, the male nurse, about like, you better give me a prescription pad or drugs or something like that, or I'm going to say
that sounds like a dream.
You rape me or something. I don't remember the exact. It was just ridiculous. And these anti-Gypsy idiots were believing it. They're like, oh my god, she really did that. And then I called her out.
Oh my god!
Shut the fuck up! You didn't do that. You didn't. Number one, and then like as she was trying to get more information, they hauled her ass out of the emergency room so she couldn't hear the rest of the conversation between the nurse and Gypsy Rose. I mean, it was absurd stuff,
so
guys.
Funny.
I mean,
wouldn't we have seen that on the camera? Don't we have footage of that?
No, this was back in the day
emergency room.
And then there was another story. She just so happened to run into Dee Dee and Gypsy again down
at the shelter.
It was like a fairground, like a I don't know, a petting zoo or some shit, something like that. I don't remember. But there's a lot of people that came up with that kind of bullshit story.
Those literally just sound like dreams.
No, but
that's not
like
real.
Seriously, there was a lot of people who came up with "I met Dee Dee" or "I knew Dee Dee" stories, and they all fall for it every single time. I never fell for that shit. I always had to like call them out, and I usually do it on live. There was this lady named Cats and Crochet, and she said she had a story where Gypsy came in, I guess, with Dee Dee and to sign papers or something. I don't remember. Oh, it was for Habitat for Humanity papers.
Oh
right?
My God.
And I guess Cats and Crochet's daughter was in the other room with Gypsy, and Gypsy attacked her or something and pulled her hair. Like there was a fight or something over vending machine fucking snacks. I don't even remember. And so I called her out live.
So these people smoke crack.
What?
So these people smoke crack is what you're saying.
I don't know. I just think like they're so obsessed to want to have some sort of connection or closeness to the Gypsy Rose story because they're so addicted to it and obsessed that they just want some sort of importance or part of every, like they just wanted something, like attention for that. And everybody would bow down like they did to Autumn Tara, Ken's sister. Like, oh, this is a close source, guys. They treat it like that.
Did they bow down to Autumn Tara?
They did for a week and a half.
She's kind of weird.
And no matter how many good receipts we're pulling out here on this channel and live stream, showing the text messages between her and Gypsy herself that expose her, they didn't care until I guess they figured out themselves she's a liar. Even though, so it's like we're the messenger.
That
here.
was pretty quick. Yeah.
Well, it took them at least a good 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
That's pretty fast for those people. Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes it could go forever, these things. But
yeah. Oh, yeah. I know.
But yeah, these.
Are you going to show your Perez Hilton video or no?
Which Perez Hilton video?
Your video. I thought you were going to show it. That's what you were saying.
Are you talking about
your
the interview
video
that I did with him? Or
you did an interview with him?
Oh, no, not the interview. Sorry.
No, your video that you came out with your first your video from last December.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. No, I'm not going to show it tonight. I was just
Oh.
referencing it for people that want to go check it out. I'll drop it in the chat though. Here's a link to that. It's like that was the one that you said you made a video on about me, right?
Yeah, because
So you
Becca
already saw
Scoops
that.
was in it acting like an idiot. Becca Scoops lies so much in that video. You can hear it just, it's so stupid. And she's like, you know, because she heard all the shit that you were giving Audrey for it. So then she comes on there and she's like, hey guys, you know, I didn't really know what I was doing. You know, she starts backpedaling and all this shit. And so then I found the footage of her and Perez, and she's like, I didn't know what was going on. But meanwhile, she's like thanking people while she's talking, you know, for like the TikTok gifts and shit. She's just so full of shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that live is interesting because if you look back at it now, like you could see, what do you see? You see the truth, honestly. Now that you look back, if you look at back at it now, like at that time, it comes off like I'm
can see it,
gaslighting
you
and
can
stuff.
see it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know how like the anti-gypsy community took it back then, like, oh, he's gaslighting Audrey, you know, they felt bad for Audrey. It's like, dude, I didn't even, if you go look back and see what I said to her and the way that I said it, no way was I raising my voice or yelling at her or
No, you never raised your voice or yell. I do think you did a little tiny bit of gaslighting, though. There was a certain portion of it where you had said to her one thing, and then she was like, you know, she had repeated that, and then you're like, I didn't say that, but you had literally just said it. And I thought, oh, maybe he just forgot that he said it, but it did seem
probably
like you were
forgot.
gaslighting her.
Because, yeah, I mean, like I was trying to get her, I don't know.
You were mad
You
because
have
you were
to-
like, why are you letting this dude who's a pedophile promote?
I didn't call him
you know,
pedophile. I did call him creepy because he did what he did and he had a lot of stuff like he. You know, his
you were
past.
saying like, you know,
It was the
you
Miley
can't trust
Cyrus
him with children.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I
Yeah.
brought that up.
So
But
why are you, why is he the advocate?
exactly. And they were like, no, you know, like their excuses were like, he already, you know, apologized.
They didn't really
for
have
all
an
that.
excuse. They were like all, you know, like whatever. We don't care. We just want to get the word out.
That's what Audrey said. I said, do you not want to know about what I'm talking about today on this live stream? Because she had no idea. She's like, no, I don't care. Nothing's
Of
going
course
to
she
change my
doesn't.
mind.
Yeah.
That was her attitude. And I was like, okay, well, you know, that's just how it's going to be. Because again, their hate bonding just unites them and they're unwilling to hear like truthful stuff, you know, about their
Well, of course,
own.
she can never do no wrong. And then, you know, of course, and then I saw after that she had done like 100 live streams with him. I mean, she was going live on TikTok with him like every day. I mean, they were like BFFs for a couple months. There's tons of footage of them together doing live streams
because
together.
they're very focused on getting him convinced, just like they do all the time to everybody else.
Right.
They're focused on getting Javier from the Pretend podcast convinced to make sure that his narrative is not going to be anything pro-gypsy or even in the middle.
Oh, you should have heard this random radio interview that I heard with Becca Scoops that she did recently. And I keep forgetting to do a video about it because I don't think anyone's ever heard it. And it was set up through Lori, the cream expert, and they were her friends, but it was like a big, huge radio show. And just, I mean, I listened to the whole thing like 3 times, and it's just so Becca Scoops, just her, because she thinks everyone was born yesterday. I mean, these people had done some research before they had brought her on for the interview, just so they weren't completely in the dark about it. And they had a lot of things wrong and were asking her questions about some things that I was like, they said something like, this is what bothers me about Becca Scoops. So they asked her, they're like, you know, Gypsy Rose being out on social media, you know, like it was disturbing to them or whatever. And they're like, she even presented an award recently. And Becca Scoops is like, yeah, like, no, she didn't, Becca. Like, no, what? I don't even think Becca listens. Becca does not care. She's like just there pushing her narrative so hard that she can't even focus on like what's actually going on or the truth. And they literally said like Gypsy just presented an award, like at an award ceremony. And she was like, yep. What?
So that was an older podcast or radio broadcast, right? From a gentleman. Like there was a man who.
It's a guy and a girl. It's not that old. It's not that old.
Oh, it's not.
It's just from a couple months ago.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see much.
Okay, so maybe it was from time flies. It could have been from September.
A few months ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. A few months ago.
Yeah, I think I know.
That's not that.
It was
far.
like I remember a gentleman actually.
The Frankie and Jesse show or something.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
yeah.
I didn't see it though, but
we should play it. We should play it on here for people because it's ridiculous.
Well, which brings us to, Becca Scoops is crawling back again because I don't know if you heard the last live stream where she got outed pretty much for stealing content from the
I called her out on that in my first video.
What was that? Oh, that was what your first video was about Becca Scoops stealing
Half
content?
of it was, yeah. Because it's like, we're not, I watch all content creators who cover Gypsy. So I know what kind of content people are posting. I know who's posted what. And sometimes we do have to get, like, sometimes I do have to, screenshot or video record some things from other people's content and use it in my own. But I give them credit and I say where it comes from. She just does that and then puts her own little backdrop on it and with Beck Scoop's backdrop on it and acts like she's the one who got it. She wants all the credit for everything. She doesn't give credit to anybody. And that's all she does. She doesn't even know what she's talking about half the time. She steals the shit, puts it on her page against her own backdrop and doesn't even remember doesn't even know what she's talking about because she steals it. That's why she's not doing her own. I don't understand why she can't just do her own damn research. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's one little tidbit that I forgot to mention in my last live stream in regards to Becca stealing content from the Siders Family Facebook page as well as other researchers over there. So what she did was she stole their research stuff, little screenshots of things, and she did it. She cropped out the person's name and like to not give credit, so she cropped it out or blurred it out as she put it on her own YouTube channel, and so. A lot of those people were very upset because they did a lot of hours of research on their own, and she just went and cleaned it up and grabbed it and took it as her own and really displayed it on her own video on YouTube where it didn't show that person's name or
that's what she does. That is her jam. That I've been calling. That is exactly what she does. Well, like, for instance, Morgan Elena is a big one that she likes to steal from. She steals from everybody. It doesn't matter. And then she'll like retype it, so it doesn't look like theirs. But it's like, I watched her videos like back to back in the day. I don't watch her shit ever anymore. But, when I was at first watching it, like she would come out with one live stream talking about one thing. And then like a couple days later, she would have another live stream and make everyone wait to the end. Oh my God, you guys aren't going to want to miss it or whatever. And then at the end, she would like come out with this big revealing information that like, bitch, you just posted that shit 2 days ago. What are you talking about? Like, you just talked about that. What? Because she doesn't even, when you actually research Gypsy content, like, you don't forget it. Like, I had to buy an extra hard drive just for all of my Gypsy Rose files because I have so much stuff, so many videos, so many case files. I have so much content. And even though it's all unorganized and, I have to really take a long time to find whatever I need to do, I don't forget any of it. You don't forget it once you've seen it, once you've researched it. It's not, that's pretty much how it is with anything. But that's how little she actually researches, is she doesn't even know what she's talking about. And then she misinforms her audience. That was another reason why I felt so adamant about making a video about her, because like these people are there to learn something from her. These people are there listening. They want to learn. They want to know what's going on. And then you're just misinforming them. Like she did a whole video about this one particular document and she didn't even know what she's talking about. It's like, I didn't know anything about it either, but I knew vaguely that she wasn't right. So all I had to do was just a little bit of research and I was like, oh, she was completely wrong. So then I made a whole video about it, telling people exactly what it was. And it wasn't that big of a deal, but it just all goes along with her, like pushing her narrative.
Yeah, and here she comes crawling back tonight with her live stream, coming back to the Gypverse. So I'm sure
she did.
Stay tuned for that, right? But hey, I
Did
wanted
she
to
do the one
thank
tonight?
everybody here. I want to thank you for spending
Oh.
some time here. Just an introduction here to Jessica's. We're gonna, make sure that well, everybody knows you anyhow. It's not like we're a huge group of people here. I mean, let's be honest, But again, this is like a spontaneous thing here. So thanks for being good sport coming up here. No preparation or format here, and probably that's my fault, but it will get better. Trust me on that. But hey, thank you so much, Jess. I appreciate that. I'm going to make sure
Thank you.
Drop your little link right here. And also there's phone calls, prison phone calls, if you're even interested. I don't give two shits about those things, but
What who's prison phone calls?
it's from Into the Weeds. They're going to drop it. Right now, it's not accessible to everybody. I'm going to throw that link in the chat right there, guys, so that you guys could grab there. It's from they're going to have a Google Drive that you can access all the prison phone calls, because people, they're still having those conspiracy theories on that anti-side saying, well, who came up with, or who got these, who has access to all this shit. That's what they do. But Into the Weeds.
Are they
casually
Gypsy Rose
just dropping
prison
it.
phone calls or something? Or?
Yeah, I mean, if you're even interested, or anybody, I'm not. I don't care.
I don't care. I could care
But
less.
they're going to have a field day with it, because that's the food that they eat. They're obsessed. Creepy people. That's
I
why.
mean, okay, cool.
All right. Thanks, Jess. We'll see you later. And
right.
I'll wrap this up here. Appreciate
All
it.
right.
All right. Bye.
Good night, guys. Bye.
There we go. We go over here. Now I'm alone in that backstage, and I'm going over here. All right. We made it. I wasn't really prepared with the Perez Hilton thing, because honestly, who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck about him? What he did was so evil and disgusting. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Only because kids were there to witness it, without even, and other people had to witness that bullshit, that horrendous, gruesome, disgusting, vile act that he decided to broadcast to the entire fucking internet world. Shame on him. And I agree with Ethan over there on TikTok. Ethan said that he doesn't deserve his kids. He's actually a bad dad, is what he said. And that's based on what a friend said. Ethan is his friend, or became friendly with Perez Hilton. Now, if Ethan is saying that, then I believe him. I mean, just that act right there, that was something you can never get out of your head. If you didn't watch it, don't go looking for it. Trust me on that. But shame on the Gypverse and the anti-gypsy creators and the people over on Reddit, the GRB snark. Shame on them for platforming this fuck, all right, who did that to everybody in the world, because he's selfish, piece of shit, attention seeker. I feel bad for his mom. I feel bad for his children. Those are the only prayers that should be going out to his family. Whatever. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. Got a few scratches and stuff like that, but sure made it a scene. And I don't know what else to say about that. I'm glad people are starting to wake up. It's the minority who feel that way, that this was something that was completely just evil. I mean, there's levels of evil, and this was certainly that. And for those who were traumatized by having to witness it, uncalled for. But thank you guys for spending some time here this Wednesday. And we'll be back again. I appreciate it. Do you guys want the troll voice? The troll voice. Someone said Ethan was talking about Perez chopping the tip of his pee-pee off. Did he chop his pee-pee? Do you know in the chat if Perez actually chopped his pee-pee? Because Ethan said that Perez chopped the tip of his wee-wee. Is that true, Rachel? Do we have proof? Is that true though? Or was that a joke? Because I could not find it. Yes, I went searching. I could not find any evidence of the PP being cut off. A little John Wayne Bobbitt action, guy. I want the little John Wayne Bobbitt action. Is this true, guys? He just did the tip. Only the tip. Only the tip. Like tons of proof. Tips of proof. Can we have a tip of a proof, guys? Let's do it. So is it true? Did it really happen, guys? Not off, but did he? So he cut it. He didn't cut it off. All right. So interesting. Very interesting. Call the tip line. Just a little tip. It's not going to hurt. I promise you. How many times have you heard that? You know. All right. Anyhow. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. We'll see you guys next time. This live stream, however, is in the refrigerator. The door is closed. The lights are out. The eggs are cold. The butter's getting hard. The jello is jiggling. We'll see you guys next time with peace and love. Peace and motherfucking love, baby.